Good morning, St. Louis.
Now, where's Tim? Where would Tim be now? Is he still on vacation?
Still, he says.
Okay.
Day two.
Are we
This is
worthless
like 2
without
days.
him? Are we just absolutely
Well, it's hard to get through it. It is hard to get through it.
just worthless?
But we'll try. Go ahead, Jackson. Didn't mean to interrupt at all.
No, I know. Good intentions. That's
Okay.
But they say what the path to hell is paved with good intentions.
I've heard that.
Is that what they say?
Something similar to that.
That's what someone says.
Yeah.
What I say is you're listening to The Morning After, and it's on 101 ESPN. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Doug Vaughn is who you just heard interrupting me while I was trying to eloquently introduce this program to the St. Louis market. Chairman Kurt is sitting to the left of Doug in Tim's space as Tim is on vacation. Martin Kilcoyne also on vacation, so filling his role is the one, the only Michael Wellington.
Well, hello,
Back
Willie.
again, day 4. Better than ever.
4 in a row. What an
Yeah.
eternity it seems like. I was the one interrupting Doug before he interrupted you, I think.
Oh, so it's like a chain reaction.
Memory serves, yes.
How do you like getting up so early and coming in here?
I was thinking about that on the way, and I actually am glad. Obviously, it's fun to come in and be with you boys and, chop it up a little bit, but it gets me out of bed early enough where I get my exercise in before I come to the studio. So on one hand, it's great, but when that alarm goes off at about 4:30, 4:40,
That hurts.
You slept in today, did you?
boy. Now, depending upon what time zone I'm in, that's not too big a deal, but when you're in the home time zone and that horrible sound goes off at 4:30, 4:35, 4:40, it can sting a bit.
You're probably used to the early mornings in the golf world.
For
though, aren't
sure,
you?
for sure. No, I love getting to the golf course early, especially even if we don't have an early tee time. Like I like to get there and have something to eat and just kind of get situated. But knocking out that early morning fitness exercise deal before coming in to do TMA.
Well, what did you do?
So I go over. My routine is pretty much the same. I roll over to a local high school football field and I do this. I run the stairs and I do some calisthenics and do some burpees and just kind of get a
Really?
good sweat going.
You
and
do
then
burpees at an empty college football stadium.
High school. Did I say college?
No, I did.
Okay. Yeah, high school football field. With, just standard kind of stuff. There's some AstroTurf and sun's coming up.
And there you are doing your burpees.
Just trying to get them in. Got to get something in, Doug.
It sounds like a montage feature in the story of your life movie.
I'm addicted to the endorphins.
Is that right?
Yeah, to be honest with you, if I don't do some sort of exercise each day, I just don't feel any good.
Huh. Well, that's a good thing, I guess.
There's something to that. Where you can relax a lot easier later in the day if you've already put some work in the morning.
I think you sleep better as well.
For sure.
And certainly for me, it helps my brain. And my brain needs massive help.
I can't do it early morning.
No?
I'm not much good to use early in the morning.
Did you used to?
No, I never got up early and started working out, ever. No, I don't ever intend to. It'll never happen in my life.
Be tough when you're doing the sports cast till about 11:30 p.m. the night before, and then getting up to do radio at 6.
Well, it's always
5:30.
tough because I'm not really much of a morning person.
Yeah.
Really?
Or a night person.
After doing this gig for so long, you're not a morning person?
I can get up okay.
What about a morning power walk as you?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to get up, get something to eat, get a shower, and go and get to work just in time.
Does it help that it's an icebox in this room for your morning issues?
It makes my nipples hard.
Can I say clip that off?
Absolutely. You and me both. Speaking of clipping that off, we're having some, I would say, light technical issues.
What?
In terms of how we access all of our files right now. It'll be rectified toot sweet, if I had to guess.
What files?
Real soon, post-haste.
Everything.
Like audio files. Now, I was able to cut some audio from the Cardinal game last night and save it locally. Unimportant and uninteresting. But stuff like drops right now I can't really access. Well, that's not true. I can access drops, but drops the week I cannot access. So what I'll say to that is for those who love a Friday drops the week, as I think a lot of people do, next week will be a mega drops the week. Ooh. Could be upwards of 2.5 minutes of just drop.
Symphony.
Thank you, Chairman.
So you're ruling it out completely for today.
Not going to happen. Well, my plan was to finish it up this morning, and I was not able to do so because of the file. But that's okay. That's okay. So we're going to, hey, listen, we roll with the punches over here on TMA.
We'll have to spend more time chopping it up old school.
That's exactly what we're going to do, you know?
Clip that off.
And a lot to chop it up about. Redbirds get a win last night.
Whoa, shocking.
And here they
Didn't
come.
see that
Here
coming.
They
Blindsided by that.
Yeah, here they come. Cardinal victory last night. We had the news at the tail end, 2 pieces of news at the tail end of our program. Obviously, a sad news of the death of Hulk Hogan, but also Coach Drinkwitz, Eli Drinkwitz, getting an extension from the University of Missouri. So we have that to talk about. And in addition, on the Stiefel dossier, we will have Joey Vitale, presented to you by Schaefer Door Company. You saw Jason Gostrow in here yesterday in the 10 o'clock hour. He presents... Him and Schaefer Door Company present Joey Vitale at 8:05 today. Talking it over with Joey, love doing that. We'll also have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today at the end of the program. That's your Stiefel dossier, Doug. How do you like it? How do you like it now?
Well, I like it plenty. I like it a lot. Here come the Redbirds. Hello, wild card, Daddy, likey. They picked up a game in the wild card right now, only 2.5 hours.
Here they come.
Did you buy your playoff tickets already?
I haven't yet. I intend to sleep on the sidewalk overnight just to make sure I'm in line.
Would you wager that the Cardinals will have that wild card berth? Are you willing to do so?
No.
You want to light some money on fire?
No, I don't. I don't think they're going to get in the playoffs. But what do you do if, or where would your head be if 2.5 weeks from now they're in a wild card spot?
2.5 weeks from now?
Yeah.
That'll be
like after the trade deadline.
After the trade deadline.
We get in the 1st of August and they're like the 3rd wild card team.
Yeah, then you keep on
could
praying you get
happen.
hot. You got 2 more months.
Yeah.
A little less than 2 more months to figure it out.
As bizarre as it seems, it could really happen.
But that's baseball, you know?
Yeah.
You go on crazy. They went on a 17-game win streak after getting Jay Happ and John Lester at the deadline and trading away Lane Thomas. Like, it's a weird game.
Yeah.
And then
Who was the manager then?
Mike Schill.
Yeah, okay.
He was in town last night.
Yeah,
Michael.
he was not pleased, I'm sure, with the welcome that he got.
No. Do you see that, Doug?
I did not. What kind of welcome again?
I didn't. I was just being facetious. I didn't. I just meant like the fact that the Cardinals beat him.
I thought maybe he got like booed or something.
No,
Not a chance.
I'm not. The Cardinal fans, they don't boo.
Not often.
No, I mean, don't they?
Chris Bryant got a pretty good booing when he said that St. Louis is boring. Like Brandon Phillips got a good booing after that incident in 2010.
But those guys have to come up to the plate and have their name announced. That never really happens with the opposing manager.
Lineup card.
You're going to boo somebody for bringing out a lineup card?
Weren't the fans cheering Skeens last year?
More than that.
Yeah.
It was a standing ovation, and his chairman is demonstrating on the Michelob Ultra YouTube a cap doffing like you couldn't believe.
Is he still with Livy Dunn?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice effort.
You know, he was a catcher at Air Force.
I'm familiar with. Yes,
Isn't that
I knew
nuts?
this. He went and visited Knoxville.
Oh, really?
And wound up going to Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a catcher. I mean, and then just completely switched to focus on pitching, which
Isn't that
obviously
crazy?
was the right move.
Yeah, it's just
Are they the
nuts.
George Washington of sporting couples right now on the Mount Rushmore?
Oof. That's one to pop.
Probably Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Great call. But I guess
That's
they're not
true.
both athletes. Are you saying both athletes or just...
I hadn't thought too deep into it. Would you be able to find very many of both?
multiple athletes? Mia Hamm, Nomar Garcia-Parra.
Oh, there's a good one.
Are they still together? I think so.
Todd Zeal and that gymnast, Olympic gymnast.
Can't count it. If you
Dominique
just-
Moceanu?
No, it wasn't her.
Who's the Ricky Fowler and his pole vaulting wife?
Allison Stokey.
Oh, that's
call.
so good. Oh.
Talked about that yesterday. Doug was talking about all the sawdust he used to jump into.
Well, I didn't. Not after the Tom Kopp incident.
Is Charlie Hull dating anybody?
I
You familiar with her work?
She's the one that's banging the heaters on the course?
Always.
Yeah, smoking darts.
I'm familiar with her work. I don't know her dating situation.
Yeah, she's an interesting cat.
Good player, right?
Bird. Great player. Amazing.
Didn't Simone Miles?
Simone Biles and
Biles.
her husband, who's a St.
Football
Louis native. Name is I can look it up. Crowdsourcing.
Oh,
Go to the machine.
I don't know if this is up to date, but Charlie Hull is not single. She was previously married to mixed martial artist Ozzie Smith. Oh, they divorced in 2021.
Wizard?
I believe it's a different Aussie.
He's now fighting?
Jonathan Owens is Simone Biles' husband. St. Louis, Missouri native, CBC. Fire him up.
Okay.
Hey, get involved in the program. Chime in. Talk it over with us. That's the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Call in the Callier and Thompson phone lines 314-974-0101. Email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at Inside STL. Let's talk it over and get in that Michelob Ultra YouTube chat where folks are just in there talking it over, hanging out, discussing the program, hoping everyone's going to have a great weekend. It's going to be hot. But, one thing at a time. And, Doug, in the meantime, can you tell me about Callier and Thompson, where someone can get a nice kitchen redo?
Well, yeah, sure. This is where you go to get your kitchen redone. Doesn't have to be a kitchen. Could be a master bathroom, or maybe you want to get your basement finished. Anything in the house, Callier and Thompson is there for you, and they've been there for you, since the 1950s, and they now have more than 165 years of combined experience between all the people that work there at Callier and Thompson. They have seen it all, and they have repaired many a home in St. Louis and made it look like a showplace, and they can do that for yours as well. Kind of hard to know who to trust to be in your home and who's going to be there to back up the work. Callier and Thompson stands behind every job that they do, and during the process, they are always available to you. The Callier and Thompson team cares about the work they produce. It's more than just a job. They take pride in the work that they do. They got all kinds of 5-star reviews. Well, here's one now from Connie E. She says they were professional, competent, and she is a happy customer. The entire process went well. Mark was a supervisor and always communicated with us. All the installers, including the plumbers, electricians, floor people, painter, etc., very professional and competent. We are extremely happy with our new rooms, and you'll be singing the same sort of song if you go to Callier and Thompson to spruce up your home. Highly recommend it. Great people work out there. They're on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Come home to quality. Online at CallierandThompson.com.
Good text here from Jackson's NIL agent, Bam Adebayo and Asia Wilson. Certainly. Those are two players at the top of their sports who are, I believe, romantically involved. Not positive. Listening to you guys is like watching a slow-motion train wreck. Disaster. That's from Buck Showalter's slightly used jockstrap.
Thanks, Buck.
Hey, B-Team. It's obviously Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I don't know wrestling.
Who else would it be?
Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, he says.
Gentlemen, I want to give some props to our fearless point man today. Yesterday, just to mention the Stiefel dossier. I keep messing that up. The Steel. Why do I want to say Steel?
Well, because that's a more important dossier.
Our point man, Jackson, and myself, we went over to Norwood yesterday afternoon and played golf in a Stiefel outing hosted by Tim Heitman and Spencer Head, who are kind of in charge, I would say, of the new Stiefel tournament at Norwood.
Our friends over at Stiefel.
Absolutely.
Stiefel dossier.
And Jackson was just outstanding out there.
Oh, was he really?
I got to tell you, he was driving it in the fairway. He was making putts, hitting beautiful pitches and chips. Huh. It was a joy to watch.
Well, thank you, Welly. That's very kind of you. You also played quite well. Welly is a stick. There is no doubt about it. It was a lovely time. I think I was the most physically warm human being in the metro area yesterday.
Really?
I was hot to the touch. It was a scorcher out there yesterday, but we stay hydrated. It wasn't as bad as days previous.
I don't think it was quite as bad as Tuesday and Wednesday, but Norwood's looking good. I think they're going to have a great event. They announced that they're going to have OAR. Doug, are you familiar with OAR? Great,
sure,
rock and roll band from Rockville, Maryland.
Revolution.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. They're going to be playing, I believe, on Friday of the Stiefel event at Norwood during the PGA Tour Champions event. That's a pretty good get.
I would say
that's a world-class rock band.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks really good out there, and it was really fun. Norwood's a great track, and I always play better with Wellington because he is not only a caddy for your game, but also for your mental game. It's easy round. You make maybe the shot doesn't go well. What Wellington will say, and it's my favorite thing he says, it's all right, you just have to manufacture. You got to manufacture your next shot somehow, some way. And I like that,
So what'd you shoot?
It was like a team best ball. So if you were kind of like not going to have the lowest shot in the hole, you kind of picked up or just kind of moved on. So exact score, I'm not sure. But there was a good run I think we all had.
We played pretty well. I think we had a nice front nine. We shot like 14 under, which was not good enough to win, but I think we were in the top 3 or so.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Played with 2 nice gentlemen who probably were very scared to see us and join us. But
Oh, I would think so.
Well, yeah, intimidating, both physically and.
I didn't mean it like that. But
Well, that's
Do you
what I
tough them
meant to-
around a little bit?
Oh, yeah, just to start, set the tone.
they contributed. It was a good team effort.
Absolutely, yeah, it was really fun. It was hot, but for the most part, if you got some cloud coverage and some shade, it wasn't too bad. But I was hot to the touch.
Were you hot to the touch?
Oof, yeah,
Okay.
it was a hot day. Actually, it was really fun, and thank you for Willie for having me out there with them, and it's a good time.
Did you wear sunblock?
Oh yeah.
Did you?
Oh yeah. I didn't have some, but the women going around in the beverage cart had some, and it was SPF 50. Perfect.
Well, what's your take on sunblock? I've had differing. I'm serious though. Some people tell me that it's not good for you at all, and other people say you better wear it or your skin is going to fry. I mean,
I would tend to go with the latter.
think so.
Yeah. I would say you should be wearing sunblock every day, even if
Really?
you're not going outside.
Especially if you're really light-skinned.
Yeah, if you're like
pale?
if you're like me,
Yeah.
if you're like me, you should be.
Or me.
at
Every
all
time I go to
times.
the dermatologist, I always get the lecture. You putting sunblock on every day?
every day.
But are they correct? Do you believe them?
Well, who are you not believe? Who are you believing over the
here's
doctors?
what I can tell you. When I used to caddy for Chris Nagel, I caddied for him for about 5 years. The first 2 years, he would just slather it on. And I mean, just cake it on. And then after a couple of years, he stopped wearing it. And he's very into eating right and putting the right things, fitness-wise, and doing the right things fitness-wise. And I said, Nags, why you stopped wearing sunblock? What's going on? He's like, it's bad for you. I said, really? Because I don't follow it, Admittedly, I don't wear sunblock as much as maybe I should, but he seemed to think it was
Bad in what
for
way?
you. I guess bad for your skin. Like there's more chemicals in the sunblock that could be harmful than the sun itself.
Does he wear like the all natural deodorants and whatnot?
I never got there.
Okay.
You
don't know.
didn't look in the toiletry bag. No. Take a peek. And then you point to the sideline person on Golf Network and say, he's got the natural deodorant.
I just thought it was
Handsome, like the
interesting
5-iron.
for someone who would wear it religiously for 2 or 3 years to then just completely stop.
I would think there's something in it that's worse for you than skin cancer.
Well, then the sun. Now, some people would say that the sun
can give you skin cancer.
Okay, well, he was kind of alluding to the fact that the sunblock could give you the skin cancer. So I'm just, and I don't know the answer. I don't know the correct answer. I'm just curious if you guys have heard anything or done any research. It's very important stuff.
I would tend to put on sunblock and trust it.
I've had skin cancer.
Yeah.
And the doctor always tells me, you got to keep that sunblock on.
Yeah.
On your
Always.
face or your arm, or where was it?
One on the shoulder and one on my face.
Okay. So the shoulder obviously is going to be covered up most of the time by a shirt, right?
Yeah.
That's a miss.
So the face is the one that's going to get your attention.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know the answer. Don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's a fair question, but I would tend to think putting it on is a better play.
Yeah, maybe not slathering it on. Maybe not put a paste on.
No, I put on military grade sunblock.
Do you?
SPF 100 if you got it.
Zinc.
Zinc, anything will do. Honestly, if mayonnaise works, I'll slather myself up in mayonnaise.
No, that's gross.
That's just for you, Welly.
That's
Would you
disgusting.
caddy for a man covered in mayonnaise?
No,
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
blame you. Coming up on the Stiefel dossier, we're going to talk about the Cardinal win yesterday, and also a pretty interesting article from Katie Wu discussing the trade deadline and Ryan Helsley kind of quote, kind of where he's at on things. Very interesting. You're going to want to hear that. That's coming up on the Stiefel dossier here on TMA, and then we'll have Joey Vitale at 8:05, and he's going to bring the heat. That's all coming up today on TMA, presented to you by Brian Crouppen here on 101 ESPN. Welcome back. TMA. 101 ESPN. Michael Wellington, Doug Vaughn, Chairman Kurt. I'm Action Jackson. We're just 4 guys in here bringing the heat on a Friday. Don't really need to bring the heat, Doug. It's already hot out there.
Yeah. It hasn't been as bad as, I haven't been outside a whole lot, but it doesn't seem like it's been as horrible as all the warning signs that went up. It sounded like it was going to be like the hottest days we've ever had here. It doesn't seem like it's been quite that bad.
Yeah.
Am I off base on that?
It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Pretty hot. I mean, it depends on, I guess, your tolerance to heat. But when there's no air movement, when it's just like stagnant, and if you're by anywhere that has like any moisture and it's humid, it's pretty tough. Michael yesterday walked over from a greenside chip that he was making over to the cart. And at that point in the day, it was about 4 or 5 p.m., and it had gotten really hot, and there was no air movement, and it looked like he was walking through thick marmalade to get back to the cart.
Thick marmalade.
He was walking, and I could just tell that my boy was hot.
Yeah.
Well, it was down there at the bottom near, what high school is that? That's right there by the tee box.
Lutheran North.
Yeah, it's down, there's that par 3. I think it's to 12, the 12th green. There's no air movement. There's no breeze. You're down there just kind of trapped, and the sun was beating. And yeah, that was definitely the hottest point of the day. But up there at Norwood, there's a little breeze. The airport, I think, provides a bit with all the activity. But I still maintain Tuesday was the most brutal day of this week.
Yeah. Well, for just normal type living, it hasn't seemed unbearable. Now, if you're going to spend 4 hours on a golf course, I can see why your opinion might be a little bit different there, thinking it's just unbearable.
I do think that Springfield, Missouri is one of the hottest places in this country. I was there all last week.
Really?
Oh, yes. There's no breeze whatsoever.
Hotter than like Houston?
I think in my travels, I would put, there's a few places that are similar. Houston's one of them. Mm-hmm. Anywhere in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Springfield, Missouri is right there.
Huh.
They're all, equally brutal.
Air Comfort Service text line, hot outside. Does Doug need to go touch grass? Not that bad out there. It's from the 314. Hey, Doug, go get a real job, then let us know if it's hot. That's from the 618.
Well, I like the heat.
Doug.
I hate the cold, and the heat doesn't bother me much.
Doug, my car AC went out. We're talking full-on Grundle soup. Come have a bowl. It's from the Maplewood Mud Muffler.
Oh.
It's a real tongue twister. Wow. Did he just say the airport provides a breeze? Point. That's from Rod, Hockey Hall of Famer. Try working out in this heat, Doug. Shut your mouth. That's from Who's Your Daddy.
Well, I'm not working out in the heat.
Doug, does really cold weather or really hot weather make you sleepy? Or either, is either one make you more sleepy
neither.
than the other? Really?
The weather doesn't really have much of an effect on whether I'm sleepy.
Cold makes me sleepy.
I just hate the cold weather so much that
course.
I can't complain about the hot weather because I complain so much during winter.
No one would listen.
No.
Well, Doug, I'm fat and my car has no AC. It's from the 618.
Then fix the AC.
That's a brutal beat. If
How
you don't
about
have
that?
AC in
There,
your car-
fix it for you.
You could lose some weight, too. Maybe you'd cool off.
Oh, my God. You'd be pouring sweat. Leather seats or something? Oh, my God. Black leather seats on a hot day, no AC.
Roll up the windows.
Yeah. Oh.
Do they make like window units for cars that the AC's out?
I'm sure they do.
They make little fans.
Yeah, I bet they
portable
got
fans.
something, but
Window units are great. They're powerful. They work, and they're super cold.
yeah.
I got to enjoy one a few weeks ago in Endicott, New York, which is a frightening place, by the way.
What's wrong with Endicott?
It just seems like a place where you'd film a horror movie.
Okay.
Interesting.
But lots of window units that keep you cool inside.
I think some of those places up there, like, they don't want to put their old homes. And putting
very old.
Central AC would be too expensive, and it doesn't get that. I mean, it gets
Apparently.
hot. It gets hot. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like down here or in the South.
I think we had a Airbnb with 3 bedrooms, and each bedroom had the window unit, and the living room had the window unit. So, yeah, central AC was not in the plan there.
No. What was in the plan last night, Doug, was a Cardinal victory. And
Incredible.
yeah. And here's what Ali Marmol had to say on the nice offensive output.
Okay, like
Turn
to
it
hear
around.
it.
Couldn't do it in Denver, could do it in St. Louis. Here's what Ali Marmol had to say.
Strange.
They punched early. To answer back in the first and then to be able to do what we did in the second was extremely important, especially coming off that road trip. You wanted to kind of come out a little stronger. We needed the offense to get going. I just love the fact that Donnie clears it with the homer, and then we reset and get a couple more guys on and then clear it again. that's not easy to do, especially against that group across the way. So solid offensive effort for sure. And I just liked our overall approach, man. We took our hits when we needed to and then took our shots for the long ball. Contreras continues to swing a really good bat. Donnie, Herrera did a nice job. I love what we're seeing out of Vic, being a little bit more patient. Drew a couple walks today. That was important as well. Walker's path to the ball is looking better, so I'm hopeful we'll continue there. So a lot of positives from today for sure.
Where was the sound right there?
I know, because the
drive.
I don't know. Is the soundbite over yet? I can't tell.
he still might have one more little thing. We'll take to drop in 22
the
seconds.
ball was sure carrying out of the park. That's for sure.
Yeah,
and you Darvish doesn't appear to have much anymore. Boy, he got lit up.
Yeah, he's been kind of bad.
8 hits, 8 runs, 2 walks, and 3 1/3. ERA at 9.18. He used to be just about as good as anybody in the league there for a couple of years anyway.
I thought they paid like a king's ransom for him or had to trade a lot for him.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray also did not pitch very well, giving up 7 runs, 6 earned on 11 hits in his only 5 innings of work. Here's what Sonny Gray had to say following his outing last evening.
You know, personally, I've got some work to do. I've got some things to kind of figure out and some, I personally have to be better, but it makes it a lot easier, for me when the rest of the guys kind of pick me up like they did tonight.
He did get the win. He's 10-4 on the year. They score a lot of runs when he pitches.
Yeah, it's helpful. Some good performances like Marmol was saying from Contreras and Herrera, Victor Scott.
Yeah. But if that was an Eric Fetty start and he gave up 11 hits and 7 runs in 5 innings, we'd say get him out.
Yeah.
But because it's Gray and because they won, we're a little more forgiving.
But it's also like when you go down 6-0 in the first 2 innings, it's like it's tough. But
and when it's happened 4 other times in the last 4 starts.
Right, and it's happened consecutively, you're right. But then when you come out in the second inning and Donovan and Contreras are hitting for power, it changes things up a little bit, a little more confident.
I was surprised and happy to see they had a little bit bigger crowd than I thought.
Yeah, they announced attendance was 30,601.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't bad. It's bigger. Does that make any sense to you? They're coming off a horrendous road trip.
Maybe they thought the bananas were still in town.
It's 100 degrees outside and the crowds pick up. Does that make any sense?
No.
It was a better crowd than what they've had lately.
Is it because there's just not much to do right now?
That's the factor, sure. But there hadn't been much to do in previous weeks either, and the fans haven't showed up much. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
I love Contreras. Someone with his attitude is really important to a team, but we should probably trade him if they can, especially if he can keep raking. That's the question, if they can. And that's been takes 2 to tango.
Yeah, that's the issue all along. Is the guys that have some value to other teams don't seem to want to go to other teams.
The win changes nothing. They are still grossly mediocre. It's in the 3-1-4. I don't think anyone in this room, at least, was saying because of that win against the Padres,
we're right back in this, baby.
No, but you're saying like the standings are what the standings are. You are still very much in the hunt. It's just, do you think you have the pitching staff? Do you think you have the offense to make an actual run? And I think we're all have come to the conclusion that that's not the case, given the current roster makeup.
Even if you don't think that, if you're unable to make any trades that help you, you're kind of stuck with what you got.
For sure.
But you called this yesterday, and you've called this all year. They tease you. Then they lose for a few. Then they win a few. It really is a tease.
When you think you've got it figured out, you haven't.
A lot of people texting in. It was Ozzy bobblehead night last night.
Is that what it was?
Well, the Wizard.
Okay.
I think that obviously you get the Ozzy bump there.
Yeah. What is it about bobbleheads that make people come out of the woodwork to go to games?
They're folksy like you.
I think that.
It helps when it's the Wizard or a guy like that.
Totally. And there's also a lot of resale value on some things.
Okay, so they're all taking them home and selling them?
Not all, no. But that's a good contingent. I wouldn't say it's
it's a
even
nice
the
little
majority.
prize to have. I'm just surprised that that moves ticket sales as much as it does. You take it home, you put it on a shelf, and then you don't look at it again, really.
Unless you have a collection, like you're a collector. What do you collect, Doug?
Memories.
Yeah.
No, that was
Birdies on the golf course.
I don't really collect much of anything.
Sound like an ad man for Pepperidge Farm. I collect memories.
I've got a lot of bobbleheads just from going to games and everything.
Yeah.
But they wind up just still in the box or down in the basement somewhere.
Wow, media doesn't appreciate the free gifts they get.
But I'm
getting those games for free too.
We got houses all over St. Louis with people decorating with bobbleheads.
I mean, people collect bobbleheads or trading cards. What might seem trivial to you, Doug, is someone else's passion.
Quality memorabilia, Doug.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I guess.
What's your most cherished piece of memorabilia, Doug, that you've collected over your years?
Good question.
You have to have something that really just means a lot to you.
It's not really been my thing. I don't really collect a lot of stuff. I've got a little banner from the 1980 Olympics when I worked at an NBC station. That's kind of cool.
That's a bad answer. Wellington, you've done some cool things. What do you have?
Memorabilia? I got some stuff from some of the U.S. Opens that we've gone to. Some stuff from the Masters. That's cool.
How's that answer?
That's a great answer. I was actually intrigued by that one.
Okay. Well, what's yours?
This is kind of a fake piece of memorabilia, but when I was a young tyke, I invited Ozzie Smith to I think it was about my 5th or 6th birthday party. Mm-hmm. And he didn't show up, but he, at the time, I thought, sent me some autographed Fraggle Rock books. And I found out.
Fraggle Rock?
Yeah, you know Fraggle Rock?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
I found out as a teenager that it wasn't Ozzie Smith. It was actually my aunt that just signed his name and made me think it was from Ozzie. Mm-hmm. But a fake Ozzie autographed Fraggle Rock book, that's like a one-of-one kind of thing.
I think that's a bad answer, too.
That is a bad answer.
It's illegitimate.
Well, I don't have 80 years in sports media to collect things like you do.
Well, I know, but I didn't. As I was working, I didn't go into locker rooms and start stealing stuff, taking players' jerseys and things.
I have a Team USA jersey with my name on it from when I coached a 15 and under USA baseball team in Japan. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
If you get a jersey, don't you have to get it framed, like to make it really legit? You can't. What are you gonna do? Hang it on a hanger?
Yeah. We have a Jordan Bennington framed autographed jersey.
Now that's cool.
I've got a highlight jersey that I wore when I won the media highlight tournament in Miami in 1985.
You ever played that highlight?
Didn't know you were a highlight.
I wasn't,
guy.
but neither was anyone else in the media. It didn't take a lot to win it.
The best thing he has, and I'm sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
The best thing he has is the video of him taking Tom Seaver deep.
Well,
that's
legendary.
That's not memorabilia.
That's a memory.
That is, and that's what you do collect. But if you were like take an iPad and place it on your wall and have that video on the loop, that becomes memorabilia.
So
to me.
if you two might not remember this, Doug, the intro to Miami Vice, if you remember the show with Don Johnson,
Sure.
I believe they showed some people playing highlight in that, in the, I guess.
Fronton. You play it in the Fronton.
That's the name of the field?
Yes. It's the name of the arena.
The Fronton?
The highlight Fronton.
Definitely didn't know that.
Well, no, you do. It's what we do.
This is something you were introduced to when you were there?
Yeah, it used to be a kind of a big thing. Yeah, people would bet on it.
Really?
It's a thing you gamble on.
Well, you just can gamble on anything, can't you?
I'm not sure it's even around much anymore, but it was kind of big there for a while.
I have a collection of Tim McKernan audiobooks of his best clip and highlights of his Hall of Fame career. It's a perfect book, just like Tim, Eric in the Central West End. A signed Tim McKernan jersey is my holy grail. It's from MD 2020.
Gosh, it never stops.
I was trying to find
never stops.
If there was 3, it was the charm there.
I was never big in getting autographs or pictures with people. I wish I'd had more pictures with people that I'd been around, but it felt really awkward to go up and interview somebody and say, "Can I have a picture with you now?" I couldn't do it.
Isn't that the worst?
And most of my career, people didn't have cameras in their pocket either.
Well, sure. There was no no phones in that situation, but I see that a lot at the tournaments. Fans will come up, and guys are good about taking the photos, and it's cool for especially when it's kids. I think it's different.
Right.
But when you've got like an autograph hound that's trying to get you to sign baseballs and jerseys, and then they want a photo on top of it, it's like, man, give it a rest.
And
bro.
Certainly not if you're the media. You can't. Ask for pictures.
Absolutely not. No.
Is there photo
No.
evidence of you dancing with Sweetness? Did anybody capture that?
No, there was
that'd
not.
be great if that'd be a memorabilia piece.
That would be something worth saving.
Chime in with your favorite memorabilia. Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. You can get into the YouTube chat. That's youtube.com/TMA STL, where there's a bunch of people in there talking it over, including John Scores, Plowhawks Laugh, I like that name, Too Fat to Kayak, JC Penny Chat Support, all up in there. Dr. Xander Mallerthrop, who's ranked number 2 in these rankings, that I'm still a little confused by, but I love to see it. Love to see people in there. You can get involved that way. You can also call in the Callier and Thompson phone lines, 314-974-0101, where Joey Vitale will be joining us coming up later. That's on the Stiefel dossier. 8:05 for Joey Vitale. Always love talking over with him. A great man, Michael. A great man indeed.
Oh,
and we'll talk it over
legendary
with him.
Gentleman.
I teased a little Ryan Helsley quote and an article by Katie Wu and some trade deadline news. We'll get to that on the other side of the commercial break. You are listening to The Morning After on 101 ESPN. This is Jackson with the Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Cardinals get back in the win column last night against the Padres. They got another one against the Padres this evening. That's a 6:15 p.m. first pitch. Miles Michaelis on the mound for the Redbirds. That was another Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me? A little reggae for you right now, Doug.
Okay.
No
thank
real
you.
theme before anyone asks.
Bob.
Yeah, nice Friday listening.
Legendary.
Yeah, do you like music on the golf course, or are you kind of? Yeah,
We should have played some yesterday.
yeah,
That was
probably.
a fumble.
Yeah, I like soft, kind of easygoing music on the golf course.
Yacht rock.
Yes, please.
I've played with a group where it was as hot as it was yesterday, Michael, and played with a buddy, and then paired up with two randoms, and for the entire 4 hours, they played aggressive EDM house music, loud too.
Yeah,
It's awfully rude to impose your music on anyone around you who can hear it.
In fairness, they were like, "You guys cool if we play music?" And of course, what I didn't anticipate was them, turning it into electric EDC.
you
in
needed
Vegas.
ecstasy for the back nine.
Yeah, it turned into Gasparilla, or not Gasparilla.
I certainly would prefer the EDM over, heavy metal while you're playing golf.
I just think like some with an acoustic guitar, some light vocals, maybe a steel drum will always work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
these be rules you put in the clubhouse, like what type of music you're allowed to play at this golf
if
course?
I owned the course, I would impose these kind of rules.
What would you call your course?
Oh man, swing easy. Swing easy,
Hills.
CC. Just swing easy, man. That's my only swing thought. Swing easy. The Cardinals didn't swing easy last night. They brought the heat.
They were aggressive.
Putting a little ash to agate, as Doug would like to say, and getting the win yesterday. Now, interesting enough, obviously Ryan Helsley has been talked about a lot as a possible trade candidate, given his status and then being a free agent next season. His final year of arbitration is 2025. And he talked it over with Katie Wu about his situation. Katie writes in The Athletic, if Ryan Helsley had it his way, he'd be a St. Louis Cardinal for life. But now, with less than a week remaining before the trade deadline, Helsley understands that the writing is on the wall. It's a little bit different this time. Helsley acknowledged the likelihood is probably as great as it's ever been for me to get traded. And he went on to say that, there he gave a number, actually. He said, this is Helsley, I would say it's 90% I go, 10% I stay. So I think, and if you remember when we were talking with him at spring training, he kind of said, he's like, I was surprised I didn't get moved this offseason. So he's not opposed to being pretty candid in his response, pretty, transparent about what his mindset is for everything. But hearing that, it seems like, I don't know, what do you take from that? What do you extrapolate from that? Outside of the obvious, like, he's probably going to go.
Yeah, his performance last night probably helped his chances of being traded because he looked dominant last night.
Yep.
It's hard for me to imagine why so many of these guys, maybe they just say they love playing here. I don't want to play anywhere else. I would never want to play anywhere else. I think they're just probably saying that. It's hard for me to know what the attraction is now, really. It used to be if you came here, you'd play in front of 40,000 people and be on a contender every year. Well, that's not necessarily the case. It hasn't been for a few years now. So, and we got guys saying, no, I don't want to be traded. I'm going to invoke my no trade clause and not agree to be traded anywhere. Veterans saying that. What do you think it is that's here now that's makes playing for the Cardinals so attractive?
All the beer in the clubhouse.
They don't have that anywhere else?
I mean, the connection in Anheuser-Busch, you got to think the beer's better at this clubhouse.
Fresher.
I guess.
Michelob Ultra.
Well, that's
tastes
the problem.
Good. Tastes good on the golf course and after a Cardinal game.
If they're staying here for the beer, that could be an issue.
Well,
It
take what you
just
get.
seems to me, I mean, we're not Las Vegas or L.A. or New York or Miami for a young guy
Right.
for the lifestyle. And now the team really isn't very good.
What do you mean,
The fan
Doug?
base has left them for the last couple of years. So what is the attraction now for somebody not from St. Louis or who hasn't played their whole career here? What's the attraction for them to want to stay?
A young player can hit Napoli or Wheelhouse. What are you talking about? That totally competes with Miami or New York or LA.
I think, and we've discussed this before. I know Tim and I used to discuss it a lot on Balloon Party. Is like if you are someone who isn't looking for a big coastal city lifestyle or team, then a place like St. Louis, where you have an invested fan base by and large, obviously we are in a different time right now, but an invested fan base who loves baseball, who usually comes out and supports really well, an organization with a history of winning. I think those are things that players would point to. Why exactly Wilson Contreras, Sonny Gray are like have a hard stance that they don't want to or will invoke their no trade clause on certain things. I don't know. That's to them individually. But like someone like Paul Goldschmidt of a couple years ago, he seems like a guy who just loves playing baseball and being with his family. A place like St. Louis is a great place for that.
Well, if you're a player that has a young family, there's not a better city to raise your kids and send your kids to great schools. If that's a factor in your decision making, I think St. Louis is right at the top of the list.
Yeah. Please text in Air Comfort Service text line. Why, Doug's question, essentially, why would players talk about loving to play in St. Louis? Why would a young player not from St. Louis, be so steadfast in wanting to stay here? Text in why you think it is to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646.
Steadfast eyes.
Oh, what a tune. Contreras loves playing 9 at a local course and going to the pool after. That's why he doesn't leave.
Well, you can do that anywhere.
Clearly, it's the soft media in this town because nobody's held accountable. It's from the other Indiana listener. Could just be lip service if they say, get me out of here and then don't get traded. That would be a bit of egg on the face. See Tyreek Hill in Miami.
I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
It would be bad for him to say, I hate this town. You got to get me out of here.
But then that applies for anything. Like, you wouldn't be interviewed, like you at your job, and I say you as the royal you. Like, you wouldn't be, even if you were upset with your job, you wouldn't be like, yeah, I hate it here. I publicly say I despise it here and I want to be moved. And then,
was it true? Do you guys know if it was true? I always heard the rumor that Yadier Molina lived on like one of the fairways at Far Oaks. Was that true?
Yeah, I believe so.
Maybe it's the golf course living that.
I thought he lived in Illinois somewhere.
Well, it's Far Oaks is in Illinois.
Oh my God!
I'm thinking of Fox Run.
Correct. Fox Run's in Eureka, but maybe you like the neighborhood you live in.
Where's Far Oaks exactly?
Fairview Heights.
Yeah.
I guess technically it might be. No, I think it's Fairview.
I'm sure you've played it.
I don't know that I have.
Scramble.
It's one of my favorite tracks.
I don't think I've ever been there.
Great back nine.
Yeah, that's a cool place. Guys, it's still known as a great baseball town. And I think the assumption is that this condition is temporary. That's number 314. I think it's a good text. I think it is a good baseball town. I think we all kind of know that. It's a good sports city. A lot of Midwest towns are really good sports cities. And certainly in St. Louis, you have a long history of success. And, I think Tim always uses the comparison to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think it's a good contemporary,
It feels to me like St. Louis is the kind of place you'd like if you're from here, if you're comfortable, if you're established here, yeah, it can be a great place. But if you're a 24-year-old professional athlete from California, why you want to live in St. Louis?
Great question. I'm not sure.
Caseyville. A lot of people are saying Caseyville in terms of Far Oaks. I think you get the exits in Fairview Heights. Okay. The course might technically be in Caseyville. Why long-term player wouldn't want to move? Wife doesn't want to relocate the kids. Why move when the money won't be better? It's from the Hunchback of Vaughn Castle. It's case by case.
Yeah.
Do players really want to win? Do they care about winning anymore?
I think they do.
Well,
I think you'd care about your contract, first of all.
Of course.
And then if you can win, that's great, makes it more fun. And if you can't, you're still playing for the next contract.
Yeah. But there's money in playoff success.
Sure, bonuses.
And not to mention, you can really make a name for yourself and extend your career if you have a really solid postseason, because then you get attached as a clutch player, a guy who can be an asset for you on a playoff run.
It would be a long, laborious season if you're on a horrible team.
Yeah, imagine being on the Rockies
or the White Sox or
the
one of those
Athletics.
teams. I can see where it wouldn't be a whole lot of fun to show up and play if you're a little banged up or something.
Right. And it's hard enough. It's a grind enough, even when your team is amazing, to get out there and perform at your very best. Imagine when, the fans in your city don't care. It feels like the front office doesn't care. And I know people might say that about this team right now in 2025, but by and large, in the 21st century, that's not been the case with the Cardinals. And I think that attracts people to a place like St. Louis. And a winning culture, take out the last couple of years, they've developed a winning culture. I think that matters to some people. I think football players want to go to the Chiefs. I'm not saying the Cardinals are the Chiefs by any means in this where we are in the last decade, but over the last 25 years, closer.
Well, and let's be honest. Obviously, the Chiefs have been great, but Kansas City has gotten better and better the last 10 to 15 years as a place to live and a place to hang out.
For sure. But both St. Louis and Kansas City, to Doug's point, are not L.A. They're not New York. They're not Miami. They're not some of these towns who are paying big bucks and are world-class city.
In Kansas City, I'm sure they like the coach, and they must really like Ollie here too. The players must really like Ollie.
Oh, I think so.
The veteran players who are saying, "No, I'm going to not allow you to trade me. I got a no trade. I don't want to go anywhere." I think you would only say that if you really like the manager.
Players want to be in the same city as Tim. That's from Curb Stomp.
Yeah, ring it.
There's a reason so many Blues and Cardinals alumni choose to stay here after their careers. It's a great place to raise a family, and the cost of living is pretty good. That's from Doug Sugarsack.
Cost of living is outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, comparatively, like when you're talking, like a city in California or certain areas. I know Contreras in particular is waiting for that puppet amphitheater to go in at Ballpark Village. That's from Iggy's great brother.
Back to the cost of living. Is that really a factor if you're making $5 million a year?
Sure. Well, I mean,
I think it's like I think it's a bonus.
You're living like a king no matter what city you're in. Most professional athletes can live like a king.
Yeah.
get more house for your money.
Yeah, you can get another 1,000 or 2 square feet, I guess, if that's important to you.
Pretty handsome uniform on these St. Louis baseball Cardinals.
Yeah.
Be a factor for me.
You think that's
Like college recruits.
you think that's part of the decision-making process?
I'd say.
Well, I got it when they were going well, and they were playing in big crowds and contending every year, and the Cardinals were an A brand in Major League Baseball. But that it's fallen a little bit. They've stumbled here, and now I just wonder why so many players seem to want to stay here.
The uniforms, Doug.
That's what it is.
I also think that we've heard it from a multitude of players that, when you're down at spring training, the older players who'd come down and help coach, whether that's, Ozzie Smith, who's always down there. Willie, a ton of Cardinal legends who played a healthy amount of their career in St. Louis. And they see how revered they are, not only by the organization, but the fans still, and how they're still making an impact. And I think some players I would like that for the rest of my life. I would want something like this where I have a connection to a place and a team for the rest of my life. Whereas if you go play, and I don't want to Colorado's the easy answer there, but something like Arizona, where you might not have something like that, or take your pick of any.
I would think a lot of franchises would. A lot of franchises probably have former great players come down.
I'm not saying that they don't. I'm not saying the Cardinals are the only team who would do that, but I think there is something special to that, and I've heard players say that that's a unique thing about St. Louis is how involved the legendary players are, way, way, way past their playing careers. And then Sir Tripod said the free zoo.
Well, and on the standpoint of the Blues, you got to think a lot of the young hockey players love being around a guy like Kelly Chase and some
Blues
of the
alumni
guys.
too. I think it's a great point, Michael. The word you're looking for is a legacy.
And when they stick around the town where they played in, they're still a well-known celebrity and get really nice treatment, and everybody loves them, and they're somebody. And if they move to Southern California somewhere, they just blend into the crowd. They're just another face. Everybody kind of likes being told that people enjoyed watching them play, or that they're a cool person, or can I have my picture taken with you? If you're an ex-hockey player who's 60 years old and someone comes up and does that to you, that's a nice ego stroke. People like that.
I think there's also something to, even though St. Louis is viewed as a quote-unquote big city, it's really kind of small. If a young hockey player is hanging out at Obie's and Chaser walks in there, the whole place is going to go nuts. Mm-hmm. Right. And, those young players are probably hoping they can get a chance to just hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't also want to move back to Canada and Russia and places north.
Probably, yeah. I would say that's a pretty big factor as well. Michael texted me before the program today, and he asked, and Chairman, if I could enlist your help on this one, to put out a poll. Mm-hmm. Michael, you can present the poll.
I thought an interesting poll for our listeners would be, who do you like more? Not who's a better coach, but who do you like more, Marmol or Drink?
Yeah. Coach.
Doug?
Okay.
Eli Drinkwitz or Ollie Marmol. So Chairman will put that poll out on Twitter. Thank you, Chairman. Appreciate you. And you can vote there, TMASDL on Twitter. We're going to do Joey Vitale here at 8:05. And so get your votes in, and then we'll talk about that after we talk over with Joey Vitale.
We can ask him.
And I also have some other questions, for you guys that are about the local coaches. When I say local, I include, Cardinals, Blues, City, SLU basketball, Mizzou football, Mizzou basketball, Illinois basketball, Illinois football. All of the teams that we would consider the local teams.
All right.
And I have some questions about their coaches and where you rank them comparatively. So I think that'll be some fun. But Joey Vitale is always fun. So Chairman will put that poll up on the TMA STL Twitter account. Thank you. Jackson, it's X, not Twitter. That's from Eric in the Central West End. But you know what I'm speaking of. So it's tough. If you're a veteran playing on the Rockies, it might get old, but any young player getting to play in the major league should be ecstatic. It's from the 618. It's a nice,
I'm sure they are, yeah.
Marmol, Marmol, fourth year, no playoff win, move on. Get a legit manager. It's from Lisa. To the question I would ask to Lisa is, do you think that the problem is Marmol or the roster construction? Because he does not control the latter. All he does is coach the team. Mm-hmm. So I would ask Lisa, do you think getting a legit manager will make Miles Michaelis pitch better or Eric Fetty pitch better? I probably don't think so, but we listen to all opinions. Lisa is a gem, as I've mentioned before, so text on in. And get involved in that YouTube chat as well. It's presented to you by Michelob Ultra. It's never a better time than a hot day after a round of golf to enjoy Michelob Ultra. Responsibly, of course. But I had a cold pop after our round yesterday. And
Responsibly,
it felt great.
Did you drink it responsibly or did you chug it?
Responsibly.
Okay.
With the ice water, kind of back and forth.
Hey, did you go to the pro shop and collect on your Jackson
closed.
one closest to the hole?
That's right. Oh, I forgot to mention this.
No,
Thank you.
number 7. Did you?
Number 7. I was not. The pro shop was closed, but I'll go back there. But it was a 155-yard par 3, Doug.
What club?
You know damn well what club I pull out. Mm-hmm. I pull out the old trusty 7-iron, much like Kevin Costner in Tin Cup.
Oh, really?
It is my best club. He hit a 250. I put it 150. Tight, closest to the pin, your boy, 7-iron. It's not about how far you hit it. It's about how close you hit it.
How far were you from the hole?
$155 as the crow flies.
I mean, when it landed on the green.
6-7 feet?
Yeah, I'd say in that.
Now ask him if he made the putt.
Did you make the putt?
Absolutely not.
I just hope Mr. Sider's congratulations is as loud as his criticism.
Well, in fairness to him, it did not fly very far. It flew about 153 yards.
Well, what's the point when you hit it?
To hit it as close as humanly possible.
Got
but
it.
then to that, you should also make the putt.
Wait, what does Siders have to do with this?
Mr. Siders, texter of this program, is very critical of how far I hit my 7-iron.
Oh, wait, you talked about this the other day. What, he thinks you should hit it further?
Yes. I think I should hit it further, too, to be fair. But
hey, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
You stuffed it in there.
Yeah.
And you got the $100. Was it $100 credit?
That's right.
That's nice.
And why would it matter to somebody else what club you hit?
Great point, Doug.
Well, I would say I'm an easy target. And
Is it just a macho thing to say, I would have used an 8-iron?
The roast nature of this program kind of leads into that. And I sometimes talk with my chest puffed out. And some people like to check that. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I respect it.
It's good body language. Get that chest out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, listen, all is fair in this game.
I don't want slumped shoulders, Jackson. I want positive body language.
Chin high, Doug. Look at his chin.
I see it now.
You can see it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Look, it's chin
Very
high.
high.
Chin pointed to the ceiling. We're going to talk it over with Joey Vitale coming up on the other side of the commercial break. I love talking it over with Joey every Friday, and that's presented to you by the Schaefer Door Company, who also presents the podcast where you can listen to TMA podcasts and all 101 ESPN podcasts. That's coming up on the other side of the break. We'll talk with Joey Vitale. This is the Morning After, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen here on 101 ESPN.
All right.
Hey, folks, Joey Vitale here. I'm here to talk to you about my good friends at Schaefer Door Company. They are your go-to for all things dealing with your garage doors. I've been there. It's unfortunate. You go to open up your garage door, you're looking to get out the door, and bam, nothing's clicking, nothing's opening. And those garage doors, those are heavy. So give my good friend Jason and his company a ring. 636-782-3608 is their phone number. You'll get the quickest response through there. You can also go to their website, schaeferdoor.com. That's SCHAER.com. But again, for the quickest response, give them a call, 636-782-3608, whether it's a home garage door that's broken, maybe you own a small business, they do commercial as well. They are your go-to for all things garage doors. Schaefer Door. It's a Clopay Master Authorized Dealer.
Joey Vitale theme music right here.
Oh, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did
Great
you run
tune.
that by him? Did he get to pick that, or did you just do that for him?
Sidney Crosby ran that past him. Ever heard of him?
Oh, yes, I have.
I heard they're friends.
I don't know. Let's ask him. Joe, you friends with Sid?
Heard of him? Oh, yeah. Me and the kid. His birthday is August 7th. 8-7.
Yeah.
I got it on my calendar. Going to give him a little ring-a-ding. Wish him happy birthday. How you guys doing today?
Oh, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. You sound like you're in good spirits.
Are you staying afloat without Tim? It sounds like we're still on the airwaves. The wheels haven't fallen off just yet. Where is Tim?
On assignment. He's on vacation.
He's on assignment.
On assignment.
Yeah. We have a
All
lot.
right, you guys hanging. Is Michael picking up the slack and
That's
the
right.
chairman Kurt? Okay.
Joe, have you gotten Sydney a gift yet for his birthday?
No, I think we're not. Listen, I got to be honest with you. We're not like super tight. I think it's kind of weird. I mean, I'm almost 40. If I'm still getting another dude a gift, yeah. He may think I'm a stage 4 clinger, like from the old Wedding Crashers movie. Yeah, I don't know if.
Yeah, first
I don't
Asian.
know if we're quite there. Yeah. I don't know if we're quite there, but no, I'll shoot him a text.
Are you in town right now?
I am in town, Michael, and it's been a heck of a week. I'm glad I'm in town too. We've had some adversity at the old Vitale household. I don't know if you know, we have 30 chickens, but they are getting our baby Polish chickens. They're getting picked off left and right. We got this hawk. We got this I don't even know what kind of hawk it is. I just know that one day we were in the kitchen. I think it was a Monday. Today's Friday. It was a Monday about 5 days ago, and we're watching TV with the kids, and I hear this. It was more like a.
Oh, gosh.
I'm like, what in the heck is that? I look outside. This thing looked like a. What's the dinosaur with the wings?
Pterodactyl.
It looked like a pterodactyl, Doug. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This thing looked like a pterodactyl. The wingspan must have been about 20 feet.
Oh,
and I didn't
gosh.
even know they had birds like this in Missouri. So anyway, we've had some adversity there. But, I'm trying to think of different hawk traps I was going to get my 20 gauge, but apparently I read a little research in Missouri Department of Conservation. You can't kill hawks because they're endangered, so I didn't want to get in trouble with that.
Or shoot a weapon in the middle of Kirkwood.
Yeah, and also I don't think you can use a shotgun in Kirkwood.
No, probably not.
I would probably raise some flags.
Would a scarecrow help?
Well, you know what? So we looked into a scarecrow. Apparently, if you get a black chicken, we got every color on the face of the earth. It's like black. If you get a black chicken, they say that the hawks are afraid of black chickens because they resemble a crow. So we're thinking about getting another chicken with his black. So that could be a good start. But the best thing, believe it or not, guys, and Michael, you tell me what you think here. The best thing to fend off these hawks, they say, you know those car dealerships with the blimpy airman that's like
wacky inflatable tube man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we got to get a couple of those. We're just going to plop them right in our front yard.
That'll look good.
Your neighbors will love that.
With a landscaping secret.
So yeah, it may be a little bit of an eyesore, a little bit. However, if it keeps this pterodactyl away from my little Polish chickens, we'll be okay.
Can you not just put some sort of roof over the chicken pen? It's a chicken wire netting or something?
Yeah, so good question, Doug. We free range our chickens because they go out and they eat bugs and worms all day long. So as soon as they wake up in the morning, we let them out and they just like roam our yard. And they roam the neighbors' yards and they just eat all day. And then they basically put themselves to bed at night. So a lot of people keep them in those runs, which is this caged area, which we've had to do this week. But we're kind of letting them out and eat all the wild bugs because then that brings higher quality to the eggs. You're thinking, well, why don't you just keep them in the pen? Well, because when they're outside, then they're eating the bugs and the worms. They add more nutrients to the eggs that we eventually eat. You ever see like those really good pasture-raised eggs? Those are eggs that they eat in the wild, and they're full of carotene. All their food's full of carotene. Carotene is basically what makes the yolk really orange. If you give a chicken a diet of red pepper, give a bunch of red peppers to a chicken, it's got a lot of carotene in it, so those yolks are going to be like super orange. So we're trying to go for a healthier egg, Doug, to answer your question.
Okay, could you not buy the bugs at OK Hatchery there in Kirkwood, buy the bugs and the worms, and then bring them to the chickens and keep their cage covered? Yeah, I mean, first of all, shout out OK Hatchery.
Yola.
Good friend of ours. They actually live across the street. For all your gardening needs, go to OK Hatchery. Sorry. Anyway, they're good friends. Good people. They got chickens as well. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So,
you buy the bugs and bring them to the chickens so the chickens don't get killed by the hawk.
I know. Well, again, it's adversity. It's trying to find the balance, right, where we can certainly keep them, penned up all day. But to me, that's not fair to the chickens. And, life is a dance. As Michael, this. Life is a dance. It's a balance. It's
Michael.
like Kung Fu.
Joe, how long have you been nurturing and raising these chickens? Is this like something new, or have you been doing this for years?
No, this really started about 3 months ago. My wife wanted to get a chicken, and I said, well, that'll be fun. And then she got, long story. We wanted two.
We have time.
And then the breeder, the breeder from Kilcoyne Country, Oklahoma, that's a real city, Kilcoyne Country, Oklahoma, he sent us 7. And I called the guy and said, hey, we ordered 2. You sent us 7. I got 5 extra chickens. He goes, yeah, we do that. Ting! We do that there because...
Is that a spittoon? You just do a live spittoon?
A lot of them die on the way there. I'm like, okay, well, they didn't die. They're here and they're alive. What do I do with these things? They're like, well, give them to somebody. I'm like, it's a chicken. It's not like a gumball or, it's not something you just give to people. Like, right. So what do I do here? Anyway, so that turned into 7. And then my wife wanted a couple different breeds, and I tried to be a good, rock star husband and say, okay. And then, I don't know, it's chicken math. 7 turned into 30 pretty quickly, but this hawk is solving our problems, and we're down to 26 right now.
How many chickens have lost their lives in the Vitale killing fields?
We've had what a great comment by Vintage Doug. There's
Vintage Doug.
You all love. We've lost 3. We've lost three souls. Our kids are learning a lot about how to handle themselves in adversity. They're learning a lot about death.
Nice spin.
That's what every toddler needs to learn.
Yeah, my middle son, Bodie, he's a sweetheart. He's sensitive. He just comes in balling. He doesn't understand why these things got to die. And I told him it's it's like peeling a pomegranate. You ever peel a pomegranate, Doug?
I don't think I have. Don't think so. No.
So pomegranate, like when you get the seeds at the end, you're like, and you even freeze them for 30 minutes, you're like, man, you got it going on. Especially when pomegranates are in season. Like, this is what life is about, a big bowl of pomegranate seeds. But the problem is it takes a while. Like, if you ever peel a pomegranate, it takes a good solid 30 minutes to get this doggone thing. You got to peel the outside core, and then it's got that white film that separates the seeds, and it's just a pain in the rear end. My point is, if I can circle this all back, we all want the egg, right? We all want the eggs in the fall, but it takes work and it takes sacrifice, and you're gonna lose some chicks along the way. So we're dealing with finding the harmony throughout the chaos, if you will.
Wow. That's good.
I'm sure your kids have their hearts broken when the chicken's killed outside, and then they say, okay, let's go to lunch at Chick-fil-A and get a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, we love our Chick-fil-A. Shout out Chick-fil-A. The one in Sunset Hills,
Yeah.
they are rapid fire. If more companies could just operate however the heck Chick-fil-A is operating I went to a coffee house the other day. There's like 3 people in front of me. It took me 20 minutes to get a coffee. This guy is having a conversation with everyone about their grandparents and where they're from. I'm like, can we just get a cup of coffee and be on my way? But Chick-fil-A, I mean, they got it going on. There's a line from Lindbergh all the way to 270, and you think, oh my God, I'm going to be here for 2 hours. Within 20 minutes, I'm eating my chicken nuggets with that Chick-fil-A sauce, which is just beautiful.
I think they advertise it takes less than a Joey Vitale Friday call-in to get your coffee and chicken.
Hey, that's not bad right there.
Well, I think this is this right here is perfect listening for waiting in a drive-thru,
Yes.
This is the good stuff. Maybe a gift for Sid the Kid, give him one of those chickens. Send on one of those chickens.
You know what? We all have those. That's not a bad point, Jackson. We all have those people. We have all those people in our lives. Like one time, this was a real stick in the. You know what? A family member of mine. We were kind of quarreling. Quarreling is a polite way to say. Families are tough.
Bickering.
Yeah, we were bickering. Bickering's a good word. And they got my son this like playhouse, and it came in like 3,000 pieces. So it was. I look back, I'm like, that was the greatest gift you can give someone who you're bickering with, because it is a nice gift, but then you're basically making the dad put this whole thing together. I spent 3 days putting this thing together. I almost jumped off a bridge. It was so bad. So maybe for those friends that I'm bickering with, those family members, I'm just going to get them a chicken in a box and just give it to them. And then that's not a bad way to go about it. Of course, I wouldn't do this with my boy Sid, because we're not bickering. We never bicker.
No, I wouldn't think so. Are you doing anything hockey related right now, or is this vacation season, or any Blues work you need to be doing?
Tending to the field.
Nope, nothing like that. No, always kind of staying on touch with things. We obviously, with the season coming around the corner, the schedule came out, so we're trying to figure that all out. I think in August we're really going to kind of hone in on this kind of new broadcast of what it looks like. But it's a like any guy in the sports industry, you look at it where it's a hard push. I mean, it's from October through April, May, whenever they end up losing, June sometimes, hopefully. It's just game on. And it's a hard push, and I don't stop, and I'm a shell of myself on most days and these long road trips, and you put it in, and then it takes a little while to get a reset. I will say though, I am ready to go. I don't know if you guys could tell. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the season. I'm pumped. I'm energetic. I'm so happy with this group we have to call these games. I'm beyond pumped for this Blues team. This is going to be with the additions they added on here in this offseason. I think that, it's certainly a very, very tough division. I was talking to Alex and BK on their show yesterday. Shout out BK and Ferrari. On their show about how hard this division is going to be, especially because the goaltending is probably the best in this division than any other division. But you got Jordan Binnington with still 2 years in his prime. You replace Radek Foxel with a Bukestad. You add depth down the middle with a Suter. And then this Mailloux kid, I think that people are going to be very pleasantly surprised that he was kind of buried in Montreal there for a little while. He's going to get a great opportunity here. So the question is, did the Blues get better? Absolutely. Absolutely they got better. And I'm excited to see where this team goes. I mean, I think they're really going to get over this next little minor hump, if you will, over the last half decade of not progressing in playoffs, especially last year as they wanted and hoped to go to second round and they were so close. I think they're going to get through that hump this year. It's a solid team. You're hoping that they stay as healthy as possible. Not to mention, I think that the way this season stacks out, as I brought up the schedule, the season stacks out where you have this month of October. I want to say the majority of the games are at home. I want to say it's like an 8-4 ratio or 9-4 ratio, something along those lines. But there's a lot of home hockey in October in that first month. And the Blues haven't lost at home for like 20 years, it seems like. I mean, they didn't lose ever last year, it seems. And you wonder if can they continue with this veteran group of a lot of players that were a part of that team. Can they come back into the Enterprise Center and just bring that energy and just start off on the right foot? It is really hard, guys, to play catch-up in this league. You've got to start the season well. And I think that they're playing so much home hockey early where if they can start, kind of flirting with that 1, 2, 3 top in the division with, the Colorados and the Winnipegs or whoever, if they can be in that top 3 mix, into Christmas, to me, they set themselves up in a great spot. It is an Olympic year. So February, they have a good 3-week gap, which only happens once every 4 years if they're going to the Olympics every year, which they haven't. So this is going to be a rare time for them to get tons of rest like every other player. But I think the Blues really thrived under the rest as you looked at last year when they really made their storm after that kind of all-star-ish week or the World Cup of hockey. So I think that they're going to really thrive under that break, and I think that 3 weeks off in February is going to suit them well if they can put themselves in a great spot. The Olympic break's gonna be great. And it's gonna be in my homeland there, Michael. The old Italy. Shout out Italy. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Huh. So you think the Blues have all the pieces in place right now to be a serious contender, or would Doug Armstrong still be looking to add a piece or two if he could?
No, I think they're dialed in. I think that it's a group that Doug is, to me, very together. I think that the biggest reason why I feel like this team is ready to win is they have at the very top the coach that's going to get it done for them. I watched Jim Montgomery come on the scenes last year, and I'll never forget his first game. We were in New York at the Madison Square Garden, and I remember at the time the Blues' backs were really against the wall. The game before, it was Pavel Buchnevich that made the comments about defense is great. Defense is great, but we need to score more goals. That's my Buchnevich.
Not bad, yeah, pretty good.
Not bad. Mm-hmm. But his point was, they were winning games 1-0, 2-1. They weren't scoring a lot, but they were certainly under Drew Bannister putting a lot of emphasis on defense. Well, Jim Montgomery comes on the scene, and he was in a tough spot because at the time the Rangers were flying. I mean, we were on this road trip. We had some tough games. We went to go play the Devils next. The Devils were like first in their division, I think, at the time. And we just went on an absolute run with Jim Montgomery. So right away, you felt something different. And, of course, he brought this team from basically the bottom back into the playoff picture. And then they were just, seconds away from making it to the second round. So, to me, this coach with this group of players, he's got them. He's figured out a way to find that balance. He holds them accountable, but he doesn't alienate them. That to me is the sweet spot for coaches. We're talking about pomegranates and sweet spots. I mean, for coaching, the sweet spot is you have to hold these players accountable. You can't let them run wild, if you will. But at the same time, you can't be a dictator and you can't alienate them when they do something wrong. So finding a coach with the communication skills where they can hold a player accountable but not alienate them at the same time, that to me is everything. And I think that you saw last year, that was the big difference. I mean, really, think about it, from when Drew Bannister left to when Jim Montgomery came aboard, outside of Cam Fowler, we didn't really add any other pieces. So the players were the players. It was, to me, the coach that figured out his group, that got that whole group to where they wanted to be, which is in the playoff picture, which, as you know, which was an incredible story last year. They ended up finding themselves in that picture in the very last game of the regular season.
If a chicken were to be snatched during this interview, would we be able to hear the screeching?
Oh, buddy. Doug, you would hear this thing. You'd be like, is there a tornado in Kirkwood? Is that the tornado one? Yeah. It was a loud squeal. I mean, it was like,
oh, gosh.
It was one of those. It was weird, and then the poor chick's like, but, there was just a young Polish chicken. They don't really have they're not really saying a lot right now. Mm-hmm. So we got to get those Polish chickens bigger where they can defend themselves. The other ones are pretty good size. We have these silkies. We have these silky chickens, which are like these little fluff balls. They're like, think like a big cotton ball with legs. It's like a big cotton ball with legs. They're really cute, but they don't get very big, and their eggs are kind of small. But they're cute, and they kind of walk around. They're kind of dumb birds too, and they have like hair in their eyes. They can't even see. They kind of like, you know what they remind you of? You ever watch that movie Moana? You watch that?
Well, I don't believe I've seen it. No, but I can picture it now because I know what kind of chickens you're talking about.
There's a chicken in that movie, Doug. His name's Hey Hey.
Okay.
It's like a dumb chicken.
Yeah.
And anyway, we have 5 bantams, and they kind of remind you of Hey Hey. They're not. The elevator doesn't go to the top, as they say, Doug.
Well, they don't have real large brains.
Very small.
A chicken has a tiny little head.
Very, very, very small brain. You know what I mean? So, and they don't have as much as they run into walls a lot. They're always running into stuff too, which is a shame because they don't have a hyoid bone. You know, like woodpeckers. Woodpeckers have this thing called a hyoid bone.
Oh, do they?
It's like basically, it's like a cushion. You're probably thinking, why doesn't a woodpecker ever get concussions? Mm-hmm. Well, they have like this cushion between their brain and their skull that doesn't. It's hyoid, Hyoid, I believe. What? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you spell it. So they don't get phased by the. We have a woodpecker in my neighbor's house. It's going after their metal. It's like a metal chimney. Boy, it wakes you up every morning.
Oh yeah, it's like a jackhammer.
Oh yeah, I love to take a shotgun to that woodpecker too. But again, you can't shoot Kirkwood, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hey Joe, a 2-part question for you, real quick. First, who are 1 or 2 guys that, in your mind, need to emerge next year, either from a leadership standpoint or a higher level of play that will help the Blues get to that next level? And then, secondly, how many cups of coffee do you have between the time you wake up and, let's say, noon each day?
Yeah, it's a great question, Michael. I'll hit the second one really quickly first. I'm actually only down to 2 cups in the morning, and my sleep has improved dramatically. I stopped drinking alcohol completely like 2 months ago, so that's also
good for you, boy. Good for you. Welcome.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a complete game changer. So I think my energy I'm finding now is just that alcohol, boy. That alcohol, it's fun, but boy, it's bad news, boys. We all know. Anyway, so I found that out the hard way. So that's been good. So I've been having more energy by not drinking and stuff like that. So that's been helping me sleep. So I don't need as much coffee to kind of offset how miserable I'm feeling the next morning, which is good. So I'd say I'm down to about 2 cups. 2 cups is probably where it's at.
Would have guessed the over, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, two good cups is really where it's at right now. So I'm happy with that. And to answer your first question, I think that we saw players really step up last year. I mean, Robert Thomas, even though he dealt with a little bit of injury, I think Robert Thomas is destined for a 100-point season here in the next couple of years. You love where he's been at. I thought Jordan Kyrou took a massive step last year. I mean, his defensive game exploded. These are some of the players that I'm looking at from a year ago to where they were this past year. Those are the guys that had taken the step. Now, you're looking at some other players across this board of players that really could really help this team. I think one thing the Blues lacked last year, Michael, as I look at the season, they had enough from some top guys. I think they really kind of lacked a little bit of scoring from their bottom 6. You're looking at an Alexei Toropchenko that certainly finally got the monkey off the back, almost 80% of the way through the season, where before that, his year before that, he was in double digits in goals. I think his scoring fell off a little bit, last year. Can he come back? Can he have a bounce back? Can Bukestad from Utah come in, and can he establish himself? Here's another player that's played bottom 6 minutes that has gotten into double digits in scoring. I do think when you have more depth scoring, I think you're going to take a lot more pressure off of your top guys. I think that Robert Thomas and the Kyrous and the Neighbors, all those players to me are going to be there. But I do think the depth scoring is going to be, super, super important this year. Nathan Walker stepped up big last year as well. So I think the depth scoring is something that is going to be something to keep an eye on this year. And I look at players like Alexei Toropchenko for really stepping up and back into that spot where you can take a little bit more pressure off the top guys.
Joey Vitale, every Friday, presented to you by J-Bone and the Schaefer Door Company. That's Jason Gasser and the Schaefer Door Company. Joey, best of luck with all the chickens. Have a great weekend. Stay cool. And for the love of God, keep those chickens under control. And beware the hawk.
I'm going to try. The chickens are fine. It's the hawk I got to be able to maintain.
Yeah, that's
but hey, you guys Michael, thanks for pulling the weight for everybody there, and Chairman Kurt. I saw Kurt at the Tower Grove Farmers Market on Saturday. He tell you that?
He said he saw you. I didn't. I didn't know
we chopped it up a little bit.
Oh, did you chop it? Okay.
He didn't see me. I saw him. He was guzzling down this pineapple coconut drink, and they're like $9. Do yourselves a favor, Kurt. I got one, by the way. Oh my God! If you want to know what heaven tastes like in a jar, just go to the the Tower Grove Farmer Market on Saturday. There's this guy and his wife and their daughter. They make this like coconut pineapple drink. It is absolutely insane. I closed my eyes. I thought I was in Bora Bora for a minute.
Best $9 I've ever spent, Joey.
Really?
Wow, America's finest consumer, Joey Vitale.
That's it.
My man.
Be good, Joe.
Joe, thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Doug.
See you guys. I said see you guys like I was Joey. Jeez. Joey Vitale, everybody. Schaefer Door Company. It's our
I
guy.
think we're all a little wiser after that, I think.
Wouldn't you like to have that kind of energy?
Yeah.
What about the level of knowledge?
Yeah.
I can't believe CBC has produced such a wealth of knowledge.
Joey doesn't do something with 1 foot in the water. He dives in head first.
Well, and let me say something about the hawk situation.
Oh,
There
please.
is a hawk that resides in a tree in the 17th hole at Glen Echo, and I have seen this hawk attack Jakey Big Mistakey.
No.
Yes, I
My
saw
guy.
it with my own 2 eyes. So hawks are nothing to mess
They're
around
bird
with.
prey.
They're vicious.
Yeah, predatory bird.
I made a Joey Vitale bingo card for these calls, and I kind of switch him out week to week on different things I think he might say or do. And unfortunately, we were just one lyric from a one-hit wonder band away from a bingo today.
Damn.
Sidney Crosby's obviously the free space. He made an animal sound, which was an upset to me. I wasn't sure that was going to happen, but
You're not considering Florence and the Machine a one-hit wonder band, are you?
no.
Okay. That would be Dog Days Are Over would not be included.
Yeah, like if he would have said, I get knocked down, but I get up again
Sure.
from Chumbawamba, that
Sure.
would have got us a bingo.
Tub thumping.
He didn't reference CBC. He didn't say the last name Kachuk. He didn't mention pouring concrete. But we had it. We started hot, but we didn't quite get there.
Yeah, chicken talk is always going to be. What did Martin call it? Spitting chickens with Joey Vitale. Thank you to Schaefer Door Company. Not only presents the podcast, but also our Joey Vitale Friday call-ins. We love talking it over with Joey. More Cardinal talk, talking about the coaches poll that we put out on Twitter. All of that coming up on the other side of the commercial break. You are listening to TMA on 101 ESPN. Here comes the sun, St. Louis. You're listening to The Morning After. 101 ESPN. It's presented to you by Brown & Crouppen. We are in our Fisher window and door store 8 o'clock hour. We were just joined by Joey Vitale on the Callier and Thompson phone lines. You can call in 314-974-0101, or you can text in those Air Comfort Service text line. That's 314-399-9646, or the YouTube chat. That's youtube.com/TMASTL, where the TMA remote lamp says this week's show has been a breath of fresh air with KG on the day. I appreciate you, King. It's from the TMA remote lamp. What a nice sentiment.
Oh, how about that?
Nice. I mean, I miss Tim, and it's not the same without him. But it's always nice to be able to slide up and get a little more involved. But I'll welcome him and Martin back on Monday.
Yeah, it would be nice to have him back.
God, yeah.
Well, come on, not that nice to have him back. It's great to have him back.
Martin, I'll be okay with him coming back. Tim, I'll be, yeah.
You'll be what?
Serious lemming.
Doug was waiting for the lemonading to be right there on it.
Okay. Well, we'll get through it. We will get through it.
What do you think he's doing right now?
I don't know. I don't care. Probably hitting an 8-iron.
Yeah, short iron or a wedge. Where he's playing.
Farther than me. We put out the poll on the TMA STL account on Twitter about.
Have you looked?
I'm going to look right this very
Because I wanted
moment.
to give you guys an opportunity to guess what you think.
I've looked, so I will recuse myself.
Fair.
Can you say the name of the
way
poll
I
again?
phrased it, which coach do you like more? Not necessarily who is a better coach, but who do you like more? Ollie Marmol or Coach Drink? And Doug, what do you think the pollsters are saying?
I'll say it leans toward them liking Drinkwitz.
Can I get a
more.
number, like a percentage?
How about 70% Drink, 30%?
70 Drink? What do you think, Welly?
I'd say Drink, but it's going to be 60-40.
Yeah, with 175 votes, Drink is running away with it, 74%.
Oh, that's a lot of votes. It's way more than I thought we'd get.
And we going to
I don't know if that says more about Drink
I think it's
or
a
less
timing.
about the timing.
I think the timing is huge. I
Yeah.
think the Cardinals are in a bad way as of the last 3 weeks. And people are getting pretty upset. They've been in kind of a bad way for a while now, whereas Mizzou, relatively on the rise comparatively to the Cardinals. And you say this, you put this poll out at the end of July or for the trade deadline where it looks like the Cardinals are going to try to sell whatever they can. It looks like Marmol is going to lose that. Like I think Marmol, if Missouri goes, has 6 wins going into the Arkansas game and things aren't going great for Eli, and you put the poll out, I think the numbers would be much more close to 50-50.
What do you think it would have looked like in spring training if we would have put this poll out? Mizzou's has been done for a little bit. Cardinals getting ready to start.
I still
think Drink is winning.
I think Drink would win this poll at any time, but the margin being so vast right now, I think is in part recency bias. And I'm not saying anyone's wrong for doing that. It's human nature, but I think that is the case.
And you think Montgomery would outpoll Drinkwitz?
So this is what this is good. This is what gets into my question here. Which local area coach? So for that would include Jim Montgomery with the Blues, Ollie Marmol with the Cardinals. It would include Brett Bielema at Illinois, Brad Underwood at Illinois, our guy Josh Schertz at SLU, Dennis Gates at Mizzou, Eli Drinkwitz at Mizzou. Which local area coach do you trust the most to be a contender in the next few years?
I think most people would say Montgomery because he came here with a team going nowhere and turned it around. He's got a personality that everybody seems to like.
Right.
I would say it would be him.
And contender is subjective. Like a contender in college basketball and college football is different than a contender in the NHL or Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Like Illinois making the tournament, Mizzou making the tournament, doesn't necessarily make them a contender, even though they are contending for a championship. So I would say, it's a little different, but I would say Montgomery as well.
It's hard to be a popular baseball manager when your team is struggling.
Right.
Because every move you make seems to fall apart.
Well, and you've said it
whether it's
before,
his fault or
baseball is
not.
one of those sports where everybody's kind of been involved.
Yeah.
Everybody feels like they could make a managerial decision, but not everybody can be an offensive or defensive mind on the football field.
Right. If you play enough college football or Madden, you could really think
I've been
you
getting
can,
into it hard.
You can draw up some plays. And then the other question I have was, which local area coach, the ones I just mentioned, do you relate to the most? Which one do you think, not to the masses, but you personally relate more to? I think for this one, you sit on this one a little. And granted, we know only what they show in the media in terms of like what these guys are from a relatability standpoint.
got to say, for me, it's Montgomery, just because I had an opportunity when he was the coach at Michigan State. Went out with him one night at we were at McGurk's and down in Soulard, and he was just a regular cool dude.
Yeah.
So just because I've had an opportunity to be around him a little bit, that's
a good answer.
An easy choice.
Yeah.
You try to drink with all the coaches at some point?
I think at this point I was still drinking, and I was with some friends. One of my buddies who used to run the Cardinals clubhouse, who was friends with Monty. And he was just a regular guy. I don't know. I think you find that a lot with the hockey guys, right? They're just a little bit more down to earth. But he was awesome. Just really, really normal and fun to be around. And funny.
Is he?
Yeah, he was funny.
Well, I don't know that I relate to any of them on a personal level like that. I don't know that I have a good answer for this.
Okay.
I guess I would relate the most with Marmol, just because I'm more of a baseball.
Well, you're a great baseball man.
I'm a good baseball man.
Yeah.
Just because I kind of understand. I think I understand what he's going through.
Right. He's in a very tough spot.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. And
doing the best he can with a roster that's not particularly loaded.
Right.
With a fan base that expects.
What do you mean?
Well, just
you don't think it's loaded?
Kind of look at it. And a fan base expects him to be a contender, the team to be a contender. And so he's having to deal with that. So I guess I would empathize with that.
How are the sports? Are they great?
Yeah.
Chairman?
Just based on personality, I may go Bielma.
I think it's a good play. He's very likable.
Yeah.
I would go personally Brad Underwood. He seems to me, and we've had him on this program, and he seems like when it's in between the lines, when the game's going on, he's as passionate and into it and fired up as a human being could be. And then as soon as the whistle blows, he knows how to compartmentalize and be cool and calm and collected and handle himself. And I'm not saying that like someone like a contemporary like Dennis Gates or Josh Schertz isn't like that. I think we also can relate to Josh Schertz too, because he's come in and been extremely friendly to us and really open and candid in his answers and transparent. So I think maybe Josh Schertz or Brad Underwood, for me, I would relate to the most also because they love ball and I love ball.
Of all those coaches, who do you think is in that current position the longest?
Now that's a question because that isn't just...
It's not, you could leave.
Yes, you could leave.
You succeeded.
Right.
I'd say Drinkwitz, he's already guaranteed to be there through 29 if he wants to be.
If he wants to be. And if the university wants him to be. You know, those are, if a great season, he could be a great season away from a blue blood school knocking on his door. Same with Dennis Gates. I think Brad Underwood's pretty, I think he's got a good standing in Illinois and probably likely, he's been there for a while now. Bielma, same way. One great season away from a blue blood team knocking your door.
I do like Gates.
Oh, yeah.
I like him. I mean, does he run the best offense or do his guys play the best defense? I like him.
There's some criticisms to be had, for sure. But the way he carries himself, I think,
I like that he still wears the suit.
Love it.
I think that's cool.
I asked him about that when he came on our program, and he gave an outstanding answer about if he's ever to be in the Hall of Fame, he wants his pictures up there to be in a suit and not in the quarter zip, and I love that.
And he offered you a scholarship, so you're not exactly unbiased.
Full ride.
I couldn't be unbiased without the guy. Mizzou basketball is my favorite thing in the world, but I can also recognize that he's a good dude and speaks well, and I like him.
Speaking of memorabilia, will you clip off that segment where he offered you a scholarship and maybe play that in your home?
Yeah. I have that video that we posted on TMA social medias.
Okay.
And that's a special one to me. Yeah, it means a lot to me. Grow some balls and put Monty in your poll. That's from Cuckleberry Finn.
The horse is already kind of out of the barn on that one.
Enough with the lame questions. That's from Little Man the Boat. Sorry, but geez. Trying to do a radio program here.
Block him.
I really like this little segue here, boys. But hey, guys, PLTD'd yesterday's show, and I just wanted to add to the creamy white food discussion. Welly is 1,000% correct. Cottage cheese, sour cream, and all sour dairy white foods are a scourge. Mayonnaise is disgusting.
It isn't.
That's from Big Tough.
How about Greek yogurt? Do you like Greek yogurt?
No.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's gross.
It's like eating ice cream or something.
It.
Oh, it's great.
I pulled a container of Greek yogurt out of the fridge the other day. It was a little past the expiration date. Opened it up.
Well, yeah.
Green.
Oh, was it really?
I let it sit in there way too long.
Nice culture.
Moldy.
I have yogurt every morning.
It's supposed to be good for you.
Plain Greek yogurt with some strawberries or blueberries in there.
It's pretty tasty.
High protein.
Yeah, it does kind of taste like ice cream a little.
It does. It's great.
I'm a pretty big fan as well.
But cottage cheese will never pass through these lips.
See, that's kind of what I'm
It's just
I'm
the
not into
worst.
that
They're
either.
all under the similar
Just
umbrella.
Absolute worst.
Mayonnaise doesn't even like have a taste to me. It's just like
That's why you put it with peanut butter.
Michael just had
Mayonnaise is maybe the worst of all.
I saw some mayonnaise in my fridge when I was going through it, and I thought of you, Doug, and I would have made the sandwich, but I was out of peanut butter, which
No.
never happens at my home.
Yeah, I should have brought a sandwich in today and shared it with you all.
the peanut butter and mayonnaise.
Yes, that's right.
You've been eating that one alone there, Chief.
Really glad that came up.
And to be fair, you read the text about these cottage cheese and sour cream.
No.
Sour cream literally does not taste like anything.
I meant more the Doug introducing the peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich. But yeah, it's my fault. I'll wear it.
Right.
I mean,
Vanilla ice cream, you'd eat that, wouldn't you?
yes, but I would prefer
contemplation.
chocolate sauce on it. I will not have whipped cream.
Really?
No, it's that slimy, mayonnaise-y kind of consistency that really, yeah. I mean, it's not even so much the taste, it's the slippery sliminess of it.
What are your views on tartar sauce, guys?
Tartar sauce is great.
Disgusting.
A little fried scrimp. Never hurt anybody.
Can I, Wellington, what's your, how do you feel about warm fruit?
Like pies. Like apple pie.
I would eat apple pie.
Jackson is very anti-warm fruit in any fashion, except
Cooked or
I did
warm.
poke a hole in that with pineapple on pizza.
Don't like blueberry pie. We'll eat apple pie with some, it's got to be a cold drink involved.
Sure, absolutely. Milk preferably, but I don't know
I'll have milk, but that's a drink. That's not the consistency of the mayonnaise-y ranch dressing tartar sauce
fair.
neighborhood.
What about a cake with white frosting? It's touch and go.
I would say no. I'd rather have chocolate frosting if I had to pick between the
Listen,
two.
you're consistent, and I appreciate that.
I feel like white cake frosting is in the same neighborhood as whipped cream.
Okay. If an umpire is off, at least be consistent. You're consistent,
Try to be.
even if I disagree with it, but it's all personal
It's a
preference.
wide strike zone.
It is. And as it gets closer, you know this, Doug, sometimes when the games go on a little longer, that strike zone gets a little bit wider.
Yeah, everyone's ready to go home.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We are not ready to go home. We got more brilliant radio coming right to your ear holes. And coming up on the other side of the break, we have some audio from Foul Territory talking about Nolan Arenado. Could he be on the move? Who would be the suitor? We have that for you. On the other side of commercial break, we're in our Fisher Window and Door Store 8 o'clock hour. This is TMA, and it's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. This is Jackson with a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Cardinals back in action tonight following the win against the Padres last evening. That's going to be a 6:15 first pitch down at Busch Stadium. Miles Michaelis toeing the slab for the Redbirds. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
TMA, come give us a chance, we'll make your day. Our shenanigans will never leave you bored. Did you just say that? Good Lord! So grab your bonbons and pour your wine. It's our turn to shine. We're the Real Housewives of TMA. Yes, we're the Real Housewives of TMA.
Undeniable theme song right there, Michael. Mm-hmm.
Still in pre-production.
Yes.
Pre-production. We haven't yet started any sort of production.
Yeah. Right. But working on it.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Real Housewives of TMA. Welcome back. Morning after. 101 ESPN, Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock hour here on TMA, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Michael Wellington filling in for the vacationing Martin Kilcoyne, who will be back with us on Monday. Doug Vaughn, Chairman Kurt, and Tim Spot, who will also be back on Monday. He's vacationing today. And I'm Action Jackson. And we're just bringing the heat to you. We talked about our poll in the last segment of which coach do you like more? Kind of simple terms there, but Eli Drinkwitz ran away with that poll. He, of course, extended through the 2029 season in a move that our friend Gabe DeArmond of PowerMizzou.com said a necessary move. Something that kind of had to be done. That's how I'm always kind of with contract extensions, especially in college football. To me, it doesn't mean that much just because, they can still fire you tomorrow. They just have to pay you more, and it's not my money that they're paying.
Well, some of the buyouts are considerable, though.
Yeah, I mean, remember Jimbo Fisher or something.
He had $50-some-odd million.
I thought it was 70.
Was it really?
I thought it was something crazy like that. So,
wouldn't you love to be fired for $70 million?
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Ed Orgeron, when he was told what his buyout was, and he was getting fired, he said, "When do you want me to leave, and what door?"
What a beauty.
Yeah. So, yes, I think many. But I mean, these guys are also world-class competitors. They want to win real badly, and getting fired doesn't feel great. I'll tell you what, a couple million in the bank afterwards makes it feel a lot
Especially
better.
$70 million in the bank.
But it also, Drinkwitz's extension also increased assistant coach salary pool, other things like that. So some good stuff coming from there, but I think a vote of confidence from University of Missouri Board of Curators, and Eli Drinkwitz also kind of expressing that he's happy here in Columbia. So
those assistant coach jobs are really plum jobs to have now.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're in the mid six figures at least for the assistants. Some more than that.
You try because you want that so that, if you have a good season, especially if you're an offensive coordinator, we saw with Kirby Moore, and you have a good offense, as teams are going to come call, and you want to pay them enough so that, a smaller school, even if it is a Power 4 school, comes calling, they might be like, okay, you know what, I want to stay here because I'm making good money and I like where I'm set up, So they don't just run to the first smaller school that offers them a head coaching gig.
Is it like the assistant coaches are making $500,000 a year? Is that
Kirby Moore's making 1.2
as an assistant?
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice.
Did you see the number that came out that Mizzou football spent in NIL? I thought I saw a report come out on that.
Do tell.
31 million. Did I see it?
What's the source on that?
I'll do a little self crowdsourcing here.
Okay.
I thought I read something last year that Texas or A&M was spending $40 million a year, so that would coincide, I think.
I was wrong. That might have been the athletics as a whole, according to the Columbia Missourian. Mizzou spent $31.7 million on NIL for athletes in the last year.
Okay, so basketball, football,
which probably a good portion.
I'd like to see the percentages.
Yeah, I assume the splits on that are heavily skewed football and then also pretty skewed basketball.
And does anyone else get anything?
Sure,
softball.
Yeah, but how much do they have to by rule?
I don't think so. I don't have the slightest idea.
Well, then I bet they're not getting much.
I don't have the slightest clue.
If you're in a sport that's not producing the revenue.
Swimming.
You're not going to be getting much of that money.
Is pickleball a college sport yet?
I don't know.
I don't believe so. You want to get that campaign going?
Not really. I think it's an injury waiting to happen.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Have you ever played?
Yeah.
Just the quick, sudden movements.
Yeah.
That's an injury for older folks. I bet you'd be okay if you're 20, 22, or 3.
Popped an Achilles.
Bernhard Langer.
Football would be an injury waiting to happen, too, if you were 70.
Yeah.
Bernhard went down?
Bernhard, this is what a freak this guy is. He blew out his Achilles playing pickleball last January.
Yeah.
And was back competing by like 4th of July. And then wins the Tour Championship.
Oh, my God.
Now, he probably was going to Germany and receiving some sort of extra treatment, but I do think pickleball is dangerous, even though it's very hot right now.
Ben and Wildwood says, hot take, NIL ruined college sports. Ben and Wildwood.
Well, because the money's over the table now instead of under the table.
Right.
It changed it. I don't know
probably
if it's
more.
ruined it.
I think you could...
Based on the crowds you're getting, the TV
sure.
ratings, it hadn't ruined it. It's changed it.
I think that you could certainly, and you can criticize whatever you want, this is America, baby, but I think that you can criticize the way it's kind of done, where it's the wild, wild west, and there's lack of transparency and massive differences across what state you're in terms of NIL rules, and it's all like, I don't know what's going on. Recruiting seems odd. You can make criticism of how they've gone about it, but the idea of college athletes getting paid when, you know, they're a huge reason why this is like $1 billion industry, college athletics. I don't think that you shouldn't criticize that. You can criticize the way they've gone about it. That's always kind of been my stance with it.
I wonder, do you remember when Luther Burden was doing the ads for
He had potato chips.
He was on Red Hot Riplets.
That's it, Red Hot Riplets. So I wonder, does the school give him less money because he's getting more money from something like that?
I would be surprised if that
You know
was the
what I mean?
case. I would be surprised.
Yeah, I just don't know how it works.
And that's what I think is a criticism, is people just don't know exactly how it works. There's a lack of transparency. Different states have different rules on what you can do with NIL, and that helps Missouri. Missouri has some very helpful NIL laws in terms of what you can do with your NIL and branding and that sort of thing. And if you're an in-state student, what that can mean if you commit early to Mizzou, and you can start getting paid earlier. So there's certainly some better things there. So criticizing that, totally on board with. But, I mean, you telling me that like a guy like when Johnny Manziel was in his prime didn't deserve to be getting a piece of that pie? Like, it's crazy.
He would have made so much more than he was making under the table.
And there's so many athletes like that who are kind of like, and there's been some who have like kind of retroactively, you know, tried to get some litigation going because they're like, I deserve to be paid for this, man. Like, and so I think that is
what would the Fab Five have made?
Right. You know, you could go through history for so many guys who were unfortunate. Now, a lot of them would go on to pros, but plenty of them didn't, and certainly would have liked to have a little nest egg to start, you know. So I think criticizing NIL practices is fair, but the NIL itself, I think, is overall a good thing.
This might be a dumb question. Do some of these high-profile college football, basketball players, do they have agents at this point? Like, is Luther Burden have an agent that helps him get that Red Hot Riplets deal? Or are they doing this independent of...
I bet they can. I know that pitchers in college baseball, before they turn pro and they're on the college teams, they have advisors, right?
Yeah.
And I know Scott Boras and his company would act as those advisors. So technically, I don't know if it's labeled as an agent, but I think there's a representative.
I don't think,
You would probably want one, and it seems fair. If you're 19 or 20 years old, at least your parents ought to be there to be able to help you through
major dollars are being... hands are being big transactions. You have probably legal and an agent of some sort, or representative. I think Michael's right. It might be a semantics thing where it's not technically an agent, but it might be. I don't know. This is
I think the
aggressive crowdsourcing.
Parents could cause serious issues too, right? The parents think that they deserve more, the kid deserves more, and it's a big argument. I mean, that to me would be the hairiest situation.
It's better than nothing, but that's a tall task for even a parent to get involved with that kind of thing, with that kind of money on the line. So,
yes, they have agents. That's from M-Town. Drink said that he talked to Sam Horn, his agent, after he was drafted by the Dodgers. So I assume a lot of these athletes with high-end potential futures in their sports do have agents. I believe that is the case.
But is he an agent for baseball, or is he an agent for NIL football?
I have
probably both.
I do not know that answer, but I think it's a fair question.
There could be some changes coming. You see, just yesterday, Donald Trump directed members of his cabinet to develop a plan in the next 30 days aimed at preserving college sports opportunities and preventing college athletes from becoming professionals. The order sets out specific guidelines for preserving scholarships based on athletic department's annual revenue.
Amateur status has been exploded.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore.
I think they're just going to try to get some kind of rules and framework so people kind of know what they can and can't do.
And amateur status, but also, it's the idea of like having amateur status on something where people are making billions of dollars is like, it's like that doesn't mesh, Well,
like, here's my thing. When you talk about golf, right? You got these kids, these college kids, high school kids, even that are playing in the U.S. Amateur and the U.S. Junior, yet they're making X amount of dollars at the University of Texas or whatever school they go to. They're playing in amateur events, yet they're being paid like professionals. How does that coincide?
Right.
To me, that's just ruining the amateur status altogether. Now, that's how it is these days, so there's nothing you can do about it. But I think it's it's opposite.
No, I don't disagree, but also it's like, and golf is a different element, but like, if this is obviously a money-making scenario, if there's a lot of money being made and the people who are the reason why there's money being made get none of it, it does seem like that's wrong in my opinion.
I wonder if we'll ever get to the point where there just won't be any amateur sports anymore. Right. I mean, what's the plus side in being an amateur? I know they have certain tournaments you can play in and win.
Golf, it's different, right? Because
a little bit, but at the end of the day, like the money, you're still getting paid to wear. As an amateur, nowadays you can get paid to wear something on your shirt or something on your hat in golf, and I think that's going on. I know that there's transfers in college baseball. Guys are getting lured away from schools and getting six-figure deals to play amateur college baseball. So where do you draw the line for amateur and professional? I mean, money is money. And as soon as you take money, in my mind, you're a pro.
Yeah, I just don't know why anyone would ever care to be an amateur.
Exactly.
What's the plus side there?
It's erasing amateur sports, really. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how it works for the Olympics, because they always claim that. Remember when the Dream Team came along?
Yeah.
Well, it's the first pros that. So
they gave up on that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why anyone would? I know there are certain tournaments where you have to be an amateur, and people take pride in that. I was the amateur champion. That's a big deal for golf for sure. But I don't know why in any other sport you would care to be an amateur.
Well, to me, it's really funny because if you know anything about the USGA, one of the big issues with the U.S. Open, the U.S. Senior Open, is that the USGA is a bunch of amateurs, yet they're governing the professionals. Mm-hmm. Okay? So why is it that a group of amateurs is allowed to be in charge of all these events where professionals are the majority of the contestants? It just, doesn't make a lot of sense. But I don't think the USGA likes the fact that now these college athletes that are going to be playing the U.S. Amateur, and they're getting paid, I mean, in some cases, really big dollars.
Sure.
And then some of those kids, that's a big advantage because now they can afford to travel and pay for hotel rooms and pay for entry fees and food on the road, whereas some of the kids who may not be, they're quote-unquote amateurs, they don't get this money, so it's harder for them to travel. Yeah, it's wild out there, Doug. Mm-hmm. What are we going to do?
Well, I don't know.
We'll keep plugging away.
I don't know why making you a professional would suddenly make you smarter about making the rules of golf than somebody who's an amateur.
Totally agree.
And the governing bodies with golf is always kind of, moving to like so many different governing bodies, who's in charge of which tournament and that tournament and how it all works. Like there's no like one unified. We are in charge of golf for the world. And there's not that for a lot of other sports either, but it's a very international game. Why can't Wellington pronounce amateur? Well,
am I saying it improperly?
When you're talking about golf, often it's pronounced amateur, but when you're talking about something like college athletics, it might be pronounced amateur.
Oh, depending upon which sport or which...
I believe that's what the Kansas City Gray Sexual is alluding to. Because in golf you say amateur.
Based on sport?
Well, in golf you say amateur.
You could say amateur. I mean, you could, tomato.
Right. But
potato. Yeah. Let's call the whole thing off.
No sour cream, though.
Oh.
NIL equals money is more important than getting an education. That's from Ben Wildwood. Well, we get money, we get an education to make money. So
right. If you're making that kind of that kind of money,
Right.
that's about all the education you might need.
The reason why you get an education in college, amongst other things. I'm not saying that that's the sole reason, but you're trying to get a degree so you can get a better job and make more money. And so you're essentially cutting out the middleman. That's
Be nice to get both.
Yeah. So,
Hey, sluts, what's the screen door sponsor Tim talks about? I need to call them. Doug, service me. That's from Buzz.
Garage door? I don't think we have
Schaefer
a
Door Company.
screen door sponsor.
Schaefer Door Company. Aesthetic design and
They're
build.
not doing screen
Aesthetic design
doors.
and build
I can fix your screen door for you.
How about a storm door?
That's probably out
Mine's
of
a
my,
little tight.
Probably out of my realm of.
It always hits me in the ass when I'm trying to unlock
Nothing's
my
out of
door.
your realm, Doug.
Yeah, nothing's out here. I teased this Arenado audio from Foul Territory, and I just didn't get to it because I am a fraud. So we will get to that on the other side of the commercial break as we close out our Fisher Window and Door Store. Maybe that's what he was talking about, Fisher Window and Door Store. 8 o'clock hour, and we head into our Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies 9 o'clock hour here on TMA on 101 ESPN, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Welcome back. TMA. We're in our Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies 9 o'clock hour. Michael Wellington in for Martin Kilcoyne, who's on vacation. Chairman Kurt in Tim's spot because Tim is on vacation. Both back Monday. Doug Vaughn in his seat, planted in there, looking great as always. And we welcome you to get involved on the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646 and by calling in the Callier and Thompson phone lines, much like our friend, Mr. Licks, who's with us right now. Hey, Mr. Licks.
Hey, good morning. Jackson, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good, very good. Good morning to the 101 ESPN audience, HD1 East St. Louis. Appreciate the time on the air today.
Okay, what do you have for us?
Is Welly in?
Hello, Licks.
What's up? Hey, do you follow, I don't know how closely you follow golf since you didn't see that Bryson clip the other day, but do you know the Grant Horvat thing where he got a sponsor exemption into the Barracuda, and then they told him he couldn't bring his film crew with him, even if they were behind the ropes? Does this ring a bell?
I knew he got an exemption. I didn't even pick up on the fact. Did he play in it or no?
Okay. I mean, what?
Well, don't get frustrated.
Relax.
Well, I can't describe the entire story. Like, I need someone on the dais so you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I know
They
what you're
gave him
talking
an
about.
exemption. What more do we need to know?
Well, they wouldn't let. He wanted to bring his buddies there to film the whole experience, and so then they said, "No, you can't come and do that because it's against the PGA rules."
Right.
Well, I assume it's against the contracts they have with television deals.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it. I wanted to get Welly's thoughts, but honestly, I don't really care anymore.
Well, what's your question though?
If you thought that was the right move or not?
Well, I mean, was that tournament even broadcast? I know that's kind of a lower tier event.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of my point.
Yeah. I don't think it's right that they give that guy an exemption. He certainly hasn't earned it, and there's guys out there trying to make a living and trying to make a career. And, whether, his decision was made not to play based on, bringing a camera crew. Is that what happened? They wouldn't allow him to bring the camera crew, so he refused to play? Or he didn't accept
Well, that
it?
was a hot, spicy take we just skipped over. You don't think he should have gotten his exemption. I think you're going to ruffle the feathers of a lot of younger listeners. But
yeah,
that's why
he does. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Licks. He does not deserve an exemption. There's no question. He has not earned a thing. He's a YouTube golfer.
All right, you're starting to come across as a boomer, Welly, and I just want to caution you.
Okay, I'll put my seatbelt on.
You think people who make YouTube videos ought to take precedence over guys grinding it out trying to make the tour?
You know what? I didn't get into this discussion to talk about boomer takes on sponsor exemptions, okay? Hey, Welly, what do you think about this new spicy Sauvignon Blanc trend that all the Ladue housewives are, taking up on right now?
Well, first of all, Licks, there's no need to yell. We're all reasonable people here. This is the second time I've heard of this, what you just mentioned, and I'm all for it.
Okay, yeah. Let me put little jalapeno slices.
Oh, whoa, who's in the car?
Those are
I only have.
It was a draw.
Oh, okay.
I had two more things. One, I have a bone to pick with someone on the fan page, but I'm going to wait until Tim's back in because I kind of need his assistance to get me through it.
Okay.
Can we get a little preview?
That. Yeah, it's about the Fan Pid Club Championship, and I protest the results.
Is that still a thing?
They still play it every year.
Scumbags on the fan page.
Hey, last take. You know those charity auctions they do in games?
Like a 50-50?
No, like when they say, hey, if the Cardinals score 6 runs, we'll write a $10,000 check to, the Mercy Hospital or whatever.
I haven't heard of that one, no.
Yeah, they'll say, hey, for every double someone gets in the 6th inning, we'll write a check for X, Y, and Z.
Okay, so?
I mean, there's been 1,000 games played over the last 10 years, and you've never heard of that?
Is this almost over?
I don't know the one you're talking about. No. Do you have a point to make about it?
No, Mr. 10,000 scolded me for this take yesterday, so I'm not going to give it. This is over. I'm done.
Well, thankfully.
Okay.
Pot him down.
Bye, Licks.
Pot him down.
That was more confusing than the Joey interview.
I expect a little bit more out of Licks.
Didn't bring it. Strong.
This guy is douche-tastic. That's from the 618.
Wow. That's new. Douche-tastic.
Well, he has narrow little focus on stories, and it is frustrated that we don't know exactly what he's talking about.
Hey, Licks, find a wood chipper. Turn it on a jump in. Your stick wore out a long time ago. That's from the Veiled Prophet.
Now, just to be fair, we did get a text from, it's either Mud Fingies or Sharon and Festus that says Licks is the best caller.
I love Mr. Licks. I want that on the record.
Well, I'm disappointed that, number one, he was yelling.
You're right.
Number two, he didn't really let us get into the discussion about the YouTube golfer. He just wanted to know my take, and he got my take, and he didn't like it, so he started screaming.
Right.
I mean, can we mature it?
This gets back to everybody wants everything customized just for them. You know what? Michael Wellington gave you a take. You didn't like it. That's your problem, not his. Right here, Welly. Give me some love.
Yeah,
right there.
I don't know. I wanted to have a conversation, but he just fumbled it away.
He wasn't having it.
This guy's supposed to be one of the best callers. Psh, the only exemption you need is to ignore the label and chug some bleach. That's from Little Beer Cats. And then some other texts that come in with words I can't say.
Can't read some of those.
I mean, just really. I mean, I just can't read them.
So the call did not go over well with the public at large.
I would say that the text line is split like the Eli Drinkwitz, Ali Marmol poll, probably 75-25 in favor of Coach Drink. Standing on business, Josh.
Okay.
It's a nice shirt you're wearing, Doug. Would you agree, Chairman?
It's a Masters.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
Nice.
Augusta National.
You didn't go.
No.
You only get that
My
one.
brother-in-law got it. Bought it for
You ever
me.
put yourself in the lottery for tickets?
I have not, no.
I've tried a time or two, never succeeded.
I know people that have gotten it after years and years of trying.
Didn't we give away on this show? There was an auction.
An auction.
A listener, I don't remember who it was, but probably went down there this spring for it, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Wait, somebody had an auction for Masters tickets on this show?
I believe the recovering alcoholic was involved. It was a charitable thing. And I think the winner got a couple of tickets and got to go down to Augusta.
I missed the recovering alcoholic. I haven't seen or heard from him in a while. I guess I need to go to Olive and Oak.
That's where he does like to hang out.
That's where he does all of his business.
Looks needs to be brought out to pasture. That's from Buzz. Brought out to pasture.
Like an old dog.
Probably like
an
Joey's,
old Yeller.
Joey's chickens. God, this
They
guy
just
keeps
brought old
sending in
Yeller
the-
right in the backyard and just let him have it.
I bet Licks likes mayonnaise.
You know what? I like mayonnaise. I'm going to stand up for mayonnaise.
I know.
I'm standing up for mayonnaise. I'm a big fan.
I'm just disappointed he ran off. It was almost like he was nervous.
Yeah.
He just ran off. Yeah. Didn't you hear he was
I think
yelling?
he was thrown by the fact that you kind of you didn't take his take or his question.
Who would think it's okay for a YouTube golfer to get an exemption to a PGA Tour event? That's not right.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Sure.
I'll play devil's advocate briefly here because, like Doug said, this is kind of a narrow topic. But I will that the kids love YouTube golf.
Okay.
It is huge. Grant Horvat's one of the biggest creators in that space that's doing a lot. I would say it's a symbiotic relationship with the tour because they have tour guys on their channel and play with them 18 holes. You learn so much more about these guys than you ever would watching any tournament.
Right.
It brings a lot of eyeballs to the game. And I would say that if he were to play in something like the Barracuda, a smaller event, it would bring eyeballs to a tournament that usually would never get eyeballs to it.
Okay. I can't argue with that, but let me throw this idea at you. Okay. What if you are a PGA Tour player and you happen to be the first alternate for that event and you don't get in because he gets to play?
And I would absolutely understand that player being extremely upset, and I get that point. I was simply playing devil's advocate. I'm kind of don't care on either side.
He did, if memory serves, he did play in the Korn Ferry Pro-Am in South Carolina earlier in the year.
Yeah.
So... But I don't think he played in the competition. I think he just played as an amateur or as the celebrity.
Right. And there's been other creators to play, like Wesley Bryan. Now, granted, he's a kind of a PGA player first, then YouTube golfer second. But
I think
you can't just be a creator and expect to have a spot in American professional sports.
No, I don't think expect is the wrong. I wouldn't say they expect, but when this was offered, to me it like made sense because I think it's. If their plan is to make money, you know, like the guys like
does the tour make money off of that?
It would bring more eyeballs.
Okay, but Yeah, I just don't know how that makes.
I mean, I wouldn't say
revenue.
directly. It wouldn't directly make it, but more eyeballs means higher viewership.
But you'd get more eyeballs if you had scantily clad women playing too.
Now we're talking
going to do
about-
that.
That's
not enough
that's
to
a
just to
false
say
that's a apples to oranges comparison. He's a golfer.
I don't think that is. If just because you might do something that a bunch of kids are going to want to watch and bring more eyeballs, I don't think that makes you qualified to do.
But he's not SpongeBob SquarePants. He's a real golfer. He's like a scratch golfer. In the golf space.
But
it's like having Bill Murray out there.
You'd have to be good enough to actually play and earn it to have any kind of right to be in the tournament.
I'm saying if he played in it, he would not come in dead last. I don't think he would come in.
I think he probably would.
I don't think.
And don't get me wrong, a scratch golfer's a great player, but these guys are all really like +7 or +8 if you want to go into the handicap discussion. But the other thing, that just goes back to the tour doesn't really care about anybody except for the top 30 players in the world. And, that's just how it is. I've watched it for years. I don't. I think you irritate quite a few players if you let a guy like that in your event. Now,
100%.
He didn't take the exemption, right?
No, because of
the camera.
He wanted
thing?
to be able to bring his crew out, and to that, I would agree with you, Michael. It's crazy to think that these networks who are paying so much money, who want exclusive television rights to this tournament, would be like, nah, we'll let it slide so that you can bring like your YouTube cameras out there. I think that's crazy. I think it's crazy to expect the tour to even ponder, to me, because why would you put those dollars in jeopardy for, like you said, a YouTube creator? But I do think it makes sense to, I get why they would offer him an exemption.
I guess. Bobby Tejas texts in that Grant is a +5.
And I saw something
he may be a +5 wherever he plays, or he keeps a handicap. But being a +5 in fun rounds of golf is a lot different than teeing it up in a tour event. I can promise you that.
Best idea you've ever had, Doug, but I'd only watch it if you were the one who was scantily clad. That's from your mom's lesbian lover.
Well, it may happen if I get down on my luck.
Oh, man, you won't be down your luck when you're working with James Carlton. He's world class, and Tim will tell you about him right here and right now.
End of service.
You'll tell about it right here and right now. Boom.
James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency in Webster Groves is my insurance agent, and he has been for the last 6 years. I made the switch to James Carlton in 2019, and I did so in part on accident. I had a situation at my home, and it was a Saturday evening, and I reached out to James, and James, out of the kindness of his heart, came to my house to help me out with water in our basement from a big storm. That's the kind of service that James Carlton and his team practice at the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. They pride themselves on being available during the day to tend to your issues, and you're not going to be in a spot like some of you might be where you email your insurance agent and you don't hear back for a couple of days. When you need something from your insurance agent, there's a good chance there is urgency behind it. You want customer service and you want to save money. That's where James Carlton comes into play. It's James Carlton online at carltoninsurance.net.
All right. No matter what, I don't care if Lix is calling in. I don't care who's calling in. Next segment, we're going to play this Arenado audio from Foul Territory. If nothing else, so that I don't not circle back on the tees. Doug, tees conversions. I'm trying to get my numbers up. We're converting this tees no matter what.
Okay.
So that'll be coming up on the other side of the commercial break here on our Mark Hanna Evergreen Wealth Strategies 9 o'clock hour here on TMA 101 ESPN, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
Going to Florida sounds like a good idea almost year-round, and you can do it at Mid-America St. Louis Airport. Great little secret that's no longer a secret. It was for a while, the airport in Muscuda, Illinois. Now folks have figured it out. Great low prices on all these awesome destinations. Gulf Shores was added, Knoxville. You go to Hilton Head, Las Vegas, Fort Myers, Fort Lauderdale, 7 different Florida locations, all available, one website, flymidamerica.com. You get the convenience of Mid-America St. Louis Airport, which means no hassle. You just can't do that anymore with airline travel. There's just a lot of hassles. You kind of accept it at this point, but you don't have to. at Mid-America St. Louis Airport. Book the flights at flymidamerica.com. Park right there, giant lot in front of the terminal, less than $10 a day to park. And then real simple, from car to gate, it's about 15 minutes. The convenience is there. The destinations are great. Find out more at flymidamerica.com.
Yes.
Well, you tell the listeners what they're listening to.
This is the Hulk Hogan, I guess, theme song, wouldn't you say, or walk-up song?
It's listed here
walkout song
on Apple Music as Hulk Hogan's WWE theme.
This is a great version. This is a little different than the one I'm used to, but R.I.P. the Hulkster. He was so dynamic.
Yeah, more than anybody else, he's probably the guy most responsible for turning wrestling into this enormous enterprise that it is today.
I just loved him as Thunder Lips in Rocky III.
Oh, yeah. Who is the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestlers? He's certainly on there.
Oh, numero uno.
Yeah. Andre the Giant, would he be on there?
I don't think so.
Why not? He's in the discussion.
You can put him in the discussion. I don't think he makes it.
What about the Ultimate Warrior?
I don't think he makes it.
No?
No.
Okay, then who makes it?
I think you got to go. I think you got to look at the Attitude Era as when wrestling really started booming.
Ric Flair has to be in there.
No, I disagree.
He's not a Mount
the Nature
Rushmore.
Boy is involved.
I think you got to go Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Not a bad pick.
I don't particularly love John Cena, but I think
He's
John
popular.
Cena has to be on the list.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock was not around as long as people might think he was. I don't know that he makes it, but he had quite the influence on it.
How do you not put the Nature Boy in there?
He's got to be. He absolutely has
Just
to
from
be.
he's so recognizable,
Yeah.
and the
Now,
comments.
are you looking at the impact they had on wrestling, or maybe like
Just for
the
their
societal
stardom?
impact and how they grew, like in the look at this, Jackson, cultural zeitgeist?
Stop saying that.
What was that again?
I don't know.
The cultural zeitgeist.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
Because the Ric Flair woo has infiltrated.
Yeah, it's as famous as there is.
Yeah, he's
Busch
right up there.
Stadium.
He's right up there with Hulk Hogan as the most famous wrestlers ever.
I think you're misguided in that, and coming from a guy who hasn't watched the program in 60 years,
30 some odd years.
I don't know that you're the voice that I've.
But he's still everywhere. He's
and
all
he's
over
still
the place
alive.
still.
Yeah.
He can be in the discussion. I don't think his bust makes it to the Mount Rushmore.
Is the Macho Man involved?
No.
Really? Randy Savage, part of the Cardinals organization at one time?
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go Hogan, Stone Cold, John Cena, and I will acquiesce to you guys, and I'll put Flair on there.
Thank you.
I don't think that's much of an acquiescence.
Well, speak for yourself.
A lot of text coming in.
Flair, 16-time champion, 2-time Hall of Famer. That's from Martin Sweatervest.
Well, Randy Orton also has damn near that many world championships. He's not in the discussion. I don't think number of championships necessarily is what gets you on the Mount Rushmore.
Macho Man has to be on the list. That's from Curb Stomp.
No, that's just dumb.
Undertaker?
Undertaker can be in the discussion, yes.
It can't be the number of championships because that's just the writers deciding who's going to win what to try to sell the next big show. It's got to be your impact and how famous you became and how many people know you. And for that, Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan have to be the first two on there.
Okay.
What about the Junkyard Dog?
I don't think he's that big.
George the Animal Steel?
No, he was good. That's about the last time I was a regular viewer when he would be eating turnbuckles.
What about Ravishing Rick Rude?
Okay, a little outside the box here. He wrestled quite a bit. You don't think of him as a wrestler first, but his impact on everything, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, but he's not a wrestler.
He was a little bit. Right?
He had himself some matches.
But, yeah, not what you think of as a regular.
Again, I'm enjoying the
Well, thank you, Base Burglar.
A lot of text coming in on, man. A lot of text. People are upset that Ric Flair wouldn't be mentioned.
I mentioned him, and I put him on there, but I think he's fourth on my 4.
I mean, they did a 30 for 30 on Ric Flair.
Cool. He's got an energy drink too, but I don't know.
A lot of comments in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat.
What are they saying?
It's getting the people going. Someone said this is blood boiling. You say Austin or you are wrong. The Undertaker, Chris Benoit. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't watch wrestling. I'm not judging.
Somebody said Dusty Rhodes again. I don't think he makes it either.
No, he wasn't as electric as the Hulkster or Flair. Or, I don't know. Andre the Giant at the time, he didn't have a very long career.
What about the Princess Bride?
Well, in wrestling.
But the Princess Bride.
Yeah, that was big.
Here's big.
Here's a good suggestion. Dick the Bruiser.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. For old school fan, yeah. You ever been hit over the head with a bottle of beer? That's what the bruiser would do to you.
I think I have, actually.
If I had a nickel.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were real bottles of beer. Probably not. They're probably like
I would imagine
fake.
not. Yeah.
Hogan, Cena, Stone Cold, and Flair is the only correct response. That's from the Caddyshack hack.
See, that was what I landed on, and I'm hesitant on Flair, but the other three I'm all in on.
I'm all in on Design Air Heating and Cooling when it's this hot out, and I think you should be as well. And Tim is right here, right now, here to tell you about Design Air Heating and Cooling.
Design Air Heating and Cooling is the sponsor of our email of the day on TMA, and they are also the longest-running sponsor on the morning after. Martin is a client, Doug is a client, and I am a client. And we are clients because we know that when we have any issues with our heating and cooling system, we can count on Design Air Heating and Cooling. All you have to do is go to designairservice.com. They pride themselves on two main things. They are going to get to you fast, and they are going to fix it with no upselling. And that gives you peace of mind as a customer. Sure, you want it fixed, but inside of your home, you don't want to be sold on some kind of deal you don't need. Well, you can count on Design Air Heating and Cooling. Online at designairservice.com, the longest running sponsor on TMA. Martin's a client, Doug's a client, I'm a client. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. Online at designairservice.com.
Design Air Heating and Cooling. You can send in your favorite wrestlers or your takes on the Mount Rushmore. That's going to be 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line, Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, youtube.com/TMASTL. Call in the Callier and Thompson phone lines, 314-974-0101. All right, I promised I would play this audio from Foul Territory. Eric Kratz talking about Nolan Arenado and his possibility of being traded and who that team would be.
Defense. You talk about Arenado's defense. Do you want, because his offense is going to be a crapshoot. He started out April and part of May, he was killing it. Now he's kind of fallen back to rate just below average OPS plus for the season. Are you going to say, we'll take all of Arenado and the fact that the Cardinals were going to buy down a lot of his contract to get a prospect and take his defense and install it at third on a team that doesn't have very much defense? Yankees. Or are you going to go Ke'Bryan Hayes where the offensive ceiling is capped and you know it's not going to be there? So to me, their defense, I still think Arenado is better. So after all these teams miss out on Eugenio Suarez, miss out on Ryan McMahon, or he's not available, they're going to get a lot of chatter from Nolan Arenado. And I think Nolan Arenado will have extreme success if he goes to the Yankees, because he's been in two organizations that are behind analytically in the Rockies and the Cardinals. And then once he goes to the Yankees, because some of his teammates have gone there and known what the Yankees know and how to help fix those things, to me, Arenado gets the most play out of all of these guys, and I think he might be a dark horse.
There you go. Something we've long thought about, that he would make sense there.
But when he says the Cardinals are behind analytically,
that part took me a little bit.
Well, what does he mean by that exactly? Like they don't know what they're doing when it comes to evaluating analytics?
I think maybe evaluating young talent. And I think the void, especially in the pitching department, of young talent would lead to that. But I wouldn't describe that as like an analytical issue. I describe that as a player development issue. I'm not sure exactly what he means when it comes to analytics. I think the Cardinals use analytics a lot, much like any baseball team.
No, I'm sure they do, yeah.
But it just still would strike me as odd. If the Cardinals aren't eating most of the contract with Arenado, that he would be moved to somebody who's trying to contend. Not because he's not obviously great third baseman. He's one of the best defensive to ever do it. But his bat is just so inconsistent right now. But maybe a change of scenery would change that.
I think it would. A guy that's that good. He gets a little bit of a fresh start. I think, as Doug said a couple of days ago, the Dodgers are a perfect candidate. They can handle the contract. A guy like that gets a new lease on life, if you will. Yeah, he's that good, and right now he's just kind of stagnant.
Yeah, and sometimes it is just a change of scenery.
It happens with pitchers all the time.
Yeah, pitching for sure.
It's kind of stunning how he went from one of the premier hitters in the game just as recently as like 2023 when he had
He's, third in MVP in 22?
Yeah, he had 26 homers and 93 RBIs. The year before that, he drove in 103 with the Cardinals.
Yeah,
then 105 before that. And just the drop-off has really been quick.
Yeah, the year goalie won the MVP, I think he finished third or fourth.
Third,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, third. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a substantial drop-off.
Unless he's really hurt and he's keeping it quiet. And
now we'd be going on a couple years of that. Just based on, because it's not like, there's sometimes, obviously, with baseball, you're talking about analytics, where it's like you're just ripping the ball and you're hitting it to people and you're making hard outs. But the numbers, the sabermetrics, the StatCast numbers that go along with it are also pretty down. Bat speed, barrel rate, all those things. So if the Cardinals have to eat most of that contract, then I would see it. But like the Yankees taking on the contract and then trading for Arenado, maybe that would be it. Just as we talked about earlier this week, I think. Just some team taking his money and him off the table.
But I think the Cardinals, in order to save some face, they would want something in return. Even if it's a kind of a wink, we'll take this minor leaguer and dress him up as a real hot prospect.
Hey, here's what you get, $30 million.
You can't just say, here's Arenado for nothing.
$30 million off the books if they're taking that contract.
It might make sense, but have you ever heard of that happening where some team said, here, have this player? I think the other teams would say, wait a minute, what's that all about?
Didn't the Rockies do that with us, with him?
Well, they got like 4 or 5 players in return. Okay. Only one of them is still, I think, even remotely involved in the sport of baseball.
Yeah, when I think about that deal, I think of the money and I think of Arenado.
Yeah.
Jackson couldn't even name who's actually on Mount Rushmore. He's such an idiot from 618. Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, Lincoln. Make your apology as loud as your disrespect.
Oh.
Using it and using it correctly are two different things in terms of analytics. That's from the 314. That's a fair point. Well, but how do we know how they're using? Like, how do we know? Yeah. You know, I think from the outside looking in, it's hard to be like, they're not using analytics right. You can say that they're not developing players right. They're not putting the right people in. They're not spending money right. But to be like, I don't know how they use it.
Couldn't you say that with any team that's not winning? Oh, they're not using analytics. And the teams that are winning, they're using analytics. Well, they've got the money, too, to pay for players that are better.
Yeah. Right. And that's sometimes what it all comes down to. I mean, when you're the Mets spending the money they make, you can be a little more fast and loose with your use of analytics. You know?
Yeah. You can say, boy, we sure do understand analytics. We also know how to pay somebody $700 million.
Yeah, that's kind of the crux of it. If you're making that kind of money, though, Doug, you might run into some tax issues.
Well, hopefully not. Yeah. Hopefully you'll go ahead and pay what you owe. But a lot of people don't pay their taxes. They just kind of let it go and thinking, well, Uncle Sam will never catch me. Or they get behind. Maybe they're working by themselves and they got to make those quarterly payments and they don't and they fall behind. Then you can have some big problems. That's where Mark Milton can step in and help you take on the godforsaken tax man. If you got unfiled tax returns, tax liens, bank levies, wage garnishments keeping you up at night, or you could be facing some kind of IRS criminal investigation, which can be really nasty stuff, you need to contact STL Tax Lawyer Mark Milton at stltaxlawyer.com. Mark Milton at stltaxlawyer.com provide a local and holistic approach to tax resolution. You're wondering about his background? Well, Mark Milton started his legal career with the Department of Justice Tax Division in Washington, D.C., where he represented the IRS in tax cases throughout the country. And while he was there, he received the DOJ's Outstanding Trial Attorney Award. Mark now helps individuals and small businesses right here in St. Louis solve their tax problems. So if you got any kind of IRS issue, contact Mark Milton at stltaxlawyer.com today, and you'll be saying, I'm not guilty. I'm with Milty. Remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Someone texting in on the Air Comfort Service text line, didn't Miami give away Giancarlo Stanton? Also, Miami might have won that trade. It's from Hunchback of Vaughn Castle, and I did look it up. They sent the Yankees sent Starlin Castro and 2 prospects to the Marlins for the Yankees, but they did take on his contract when he did make the move to New York.
I think the commissioner might even step in if you just hand a player to another team.
But doesn't it make sense? Like, to take the money off the books and you can spend it on another player?
Well, yeah, for practical reasons it does. But just for the look
balance,
of it, just for the look and feel, it feels kind of sleazy, or there's something under the tables going on when you just hand a player to another team for nothing.
Didn't the Rockies all but do that when they traded Arenado originally?
No, they sent the Cardinals sent him like 4 players.
Again, I didn't the Rockies do that with the Cardinals.
Maybe it'll be similar. It'll be 4 or 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah,
and,
it'll be somebody.
For
even
optics,
if it's somebody.
maybe.
Yeah, well, that's what it's about.
Okay.
Because the other teams would probably scream bloody murder if you're Boston and you're chasing the Yankees and then you find out the Cardinals just gave the Yankees Nolan Arenado. You're not going to be too thrilled with that.
Yeah. Well, I get where you're coming from now. Now I wasn't understanding it as much before, but now I see what you're saying. It makes so much sense, like logistically, that like it would work good for the Cardinals.
I'm not saying even the Cardinals wouldn't do it.
No, because I
get out from under the contract, they would probably gladly do it. But you're going to have to get something in return if it's even a double-A minor leaguer somewhere.
Sure, but the meat, if we're making a sandwich, that there.
The purpose of it is to get rid of the guy in the contract.
Right, that's a caramelized onion. I want the pastrami, the corned beef, and that's getting rid of the contract.
A caramelized
I don't even
onion?
know what
You ever had a caramelized onion?
Is it caramelized or caramelized?
Is it amateur or amateur?
Great
It's
question.
tomato.
Yeah.
Let's call the whole thing off.
You just take those onions, Doug, and you cook them for like an hour. And they come out, it's like a jam. Delicious.
And that's like an Arenado trade?
The double-A player would be the caramelized onions, the mayonnaise even. But then the Arenado money coming off the books, it's the thick cut, salted
that's the meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed. More TMA coming up on the other side of the commercial break. You are listening to The Morning After on 101 ESPN, and it's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. This is Jackson, Sports Center Update. It's driven to you by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Cardinals, Padres tonight, 6:15 p.m. is your first pitch. Miles Michaelis on the mound for the Cardinals. This is our Sports Center Update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me? You're listening to The Morning After. 101 ESPN, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. A lovely Friday. Doug, what's on your docket what's on your dossier?
The only thing I can think of right now is how happy I am. I have a new gong.
Oh, that's
During
right.
the break, well-dressed Tony of the sales staff brought in a brand new gong.
Look at that. Here, move it.
I got what I wanted.
Move it right in front of your face so the cameras can. There you go. Yeah, look at that.
It's a little smaller.
Do you want to use it?
Can we try out the sound?
Yeah, it sends
God, I miss Tim.
Where's Tim?
Oh,
it's
it's
higher
soft.
pitch.
Sharper.
Here's the old one. Here's a new one. I like it a lot.
So now you're going to go.
Well-dressed
Are you going to
Tony
hit two of them
in
now?
The sales staff. I might if the
extra,
eliminating gets over.
It might be a
goes
twofer.
overboard.
It's like when Mike Breen goes bang, bang.
Yeah.
Deep cut reference.
I got them both right here now. I don't know how long the old one's going to hang
Kurt
in there.
did some good work on that one.
It's just stapled in by a thread there, but doesn't matter.
I didn't see you fixing it.
No, I couldn't do it.
That one's real light. Doesn't get not the same veracity.
No, but effective. I feel.
I would say.
Okay.
So what's on your weekend docket, Doug?
I don't really have much going on right at the moment.
Yeah.
Going to this concert tonight at
Ooh, who's playing?
Little Big Town.
Little Big Town.
Yeah.
Country artists?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that at?
Hollywood Casino.
Nice.
Amphitheater.
Very cool. Very cool.
Well, what are you doing?
What am I doing, you ask?
Well, yeah.
Not much.
Oh.
Kind of hanging out.
Nothing?
I wouldn't say nothing.
No one's doing
Resting?
anything all weekend? Welly, what are you doing?
I got a birthday party tonight, my brother's birthday. Happy birthday to the big cat.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What's that?
That's what they call him, the Big Cat?
The big cat.
Why do they call him the Big Cat?
His high school buddies nicknamed him that. I think he has, some paws.
Cat-like reflexes?
Yes, no doubt about that.
birthday.
And Kurt, what do you got going on?
I'll probably just do a little hinging.
Hinging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're going on the website and just going to cat around.
You know it.
I thought you were settled with Quick Trip.
No.
No?
New developments.
I think the listeners want to know. In fact, I saw a text yesterday asking about it.
I think the Quick Trip saga has reached its finale.
No.
No one saw it coming.
No.
Is it a saga?
Unfortunately, it was kind of a saga. Be careful here. A couple red flags started to show themselves a bit.
Just a couple?
And somebody recommended to me, hey, have you checked CaseNet? I had not checked CaseNet.
Because that's what you normally do in dating.
It's now going to be one of the first things I do. But after...
Is it possible you're meeting people in the wrong places if the first thing you have to do is go on CaseNet?
Could be.
I personally don't think the meeting place and time in and of itself was worthy of checking CaseNet, but a few other things kind of went down that just, raised some questions. And after checking CaseNet, I think it's best that I extract myself from the situation.
Extraction, Doug.
Okay. So it's over. Splitsville.
I think it's probably over. It's probably best that it be over. I told you a little bit more detail about it. Do you think it's best that I cut my losses on this?
You got to run as fast as you can in the other direction. Is there really any doubt?
No, there's
when
really...
you think about it intellectually with your,
Well, there's this tiny little chairman devil on this shoulder that has me kind of
brush him off,
kind of see it through still. But
brush him off
because she looks good. That's why.
Tim asked me what I rated her on a St. Louis 1 to 10. I said an 8.
A physical rating?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You saw the picture.
I would go with maybe even a little bit higher than an 8. Not a 9, but a solid 8 to an 8.5.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was the first non-dating app related encounter I had in a little bit. So I was really gung-ho about it. But I think we have to be realistic and look out for our best interests. So onto mobile on the run we go.
Do you think the dating apps on your profile, you should have a link to your CaseNet?
I think that's a good idea.
Just to save people a step?
Yeah.
Here's my criminal record.
Hey, Kurt, did she try to sell you a washing machine? That's from the Kansas City Gray Sexual.
No, it's a deep cut, too. No, there was no sales pitches in any way. Just some abnormal behavior.
I'm going to get time passages ready. Chairman goes on CaseNet to vet his dates. I go on CaseNet to find my dates. We are not the same.
Is that Arbor Day?
No. I didn't have time passages loaded, but imagine time passages is playing right now because, 618. Well
so it's
done.
back to Hinge.
I guess so.
Huh. She just wasn't Tim enough. That's from Artificial Unintelligence.
She was taller than both Tim and I.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was slightly taller than me.
I like that.
I do too. I don't, that doesn't bother me. But as excited as I was about it, the full stop, I think they say.
The bloom is off the rose.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, I'm using context clues. That probably seems best.
Okay.
It was disappointing. It's an on to the next one mentality, but
careful, you're talking about my future ex-wife. It's from Well and Down.
Well, you've had luck on Hinge before, haven't you?
A little bit here and there,
but nothing long term.
Do you have a better conversion rate on turn to dates on certain apps?
I've had maybe one Bumble date.
Okay.
0 Tinder dates. Everything else has been Hinge.
Yeah. All right.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Do you think some of these girls could be checking out your CaseNet record?
It's empty, I think.
He says as he goes panicking to go.
Well, there was that one night.
Yeah. Are you sure?
The thing that would have used to have been on there should no longer be on there.
Well, you told a story the other day about being detained while you were dressed up as Super Mario.
That did happen.
Yeah. So,
what's the statute of limitation on murder?
I don't know, but on my CaseNet, there's just a traffic ticket and marriage dissolution with no children.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, search me on CaseNet. It's
okay.
It's all
you're
good.
fine. Yeah, you're good to go. Good to go.
That's nice to have.
Is marriage dissolution a charge or a crime?
No, but since it is, I guess, a legal...
Goes to the courts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have, on the other side of the commercial break, I do have a question for you. It kind of blends some of all of our passions.
All right.
With Happy Gilmore 2 coming out.
Is it today?
Today, I believe. Yeah, the 25th. Yep, it comes out on Netflix today. So I have a question for you that's not necessarily about Happy Gilmore, but kind of golf. And
good tease.
Brings movies involved, and I'm curious where you're at on it. And I think it's kind of just a fun topic. We'll do that on the other side of the commercial break as we close out our Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies 9 o'clock hour coming up on the Stiefel dossier. The Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, where Paul Harvey, Milk Mustache, is in the lead with 4. Count them 4 email today wins as we head down the stretch of the month of July. Starting August 1st, you can get a new text name on the Air Comfort Service text line. You just send in a request for what your name to be. That's going to be August 1st. Through that whole week, first week of August, I'll be changing names to get more people involved and engaged in our presentation here on The Morning After, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen on 101 ESPN.
You've heard the name Stiefel. Yes, it's Stiefel, not Stiffel. We've checked that out. The sponsor, they sponsor almost everything these days, including this award-winning broadcast dossier. But did you know they're also throwing one of the biggest parties St. Louis has seen since the parade down Market Street in 2019? It's the Stiefel Charity Classic. New title, new energy. It's all going down September 4th through the 7th at Norwood Hills Country Club, where golf legends from the PGA Tour champions show off their beautiful golf swings. And St. Louis shows up to support well-deserved charities. Did we mention there's a concert? OAR is performing live at the Friday night community concert presented by CarShield. That's right. Of a Revolution is bringing the good vibes, the sing-alongs, and probably a few thousand people who still know every word to Shattered. Friday tickets cost $50. Golf and OAR are included. These bad boys are selling faster than a Friday foursome at the Dotem. And kids 16 and under, active military veterans, and first responders, you are in for free because you are awesome. So grab your sunscreen, your lawn chair, and your best I Totally Golf outfit and head to That's Stiefel. Again, STIFEL, Stiefel, charityclassic.com. We will see you there.
Doug requested a little Chuck Mangione.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I gave him.
He passed away yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
You've heard
Look at him. He's grooving over there.
Oh, yeah.
He's dancing. You're like Michael dance.
This is from a movie or a TV show?
I would say it's probably been in something.
Jillion times.
Yeah.
Or in a lot of elevators?
It's like, this is groovy elevator music.
Is that why my shoulders are moving?
Yeah.
Might have even made top 40 back in the day.
Really?
When I saw somebody say that Mangione had passed.
You thought Mark?
No, I thought the guy that murdered the healthcare CEO.
Oh, that's right.
Luigi?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the same. No, honestly, not at all.
You think that's on CaseNet?
That didn't happen in Missouri.
I would imagine. So I teased. Welcome back, by the way. Morning after.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
But thank you for coming, Michael. For real, 4 days.
Happy to be here, fellas.
Just kind of out of the blue. It's been outstanding.
Different week for me, but I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, you've been just outstanding, and we always love having you in here. And you bring the heat. You always do. And we appreciate you kind of coming out of nowhere. So my question: so Happy Gilmore 2 comes out today.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a quick plug. Movie Boy.
Plug away.
Episode 2 drops tomorrow, Saturday, 10 a.m. We'll not be talking about Happy Gilmore on that episode. The movie Eddington is the subject, I would say, for episode 2.
You've seen it.
Eddington or Happy Gilmore 2?
Eddington.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And is it good?
So good.
But I get more into it on the podcast, which you can hear tomorrow. But then the following week, so next Saturday, I assume Happy Gilmore 2 will be a part of that conversation. So that'll be a lot of fun, in addition to probably Fantastic Four, which comes out today. So we'll talk about that next week, but this week is Eddington. But either way, Happy Gilmore 2 comes out today. I'm using this simply as a conduit because my favorite golf movie, and I think probably a lot of people's, is Tin Cup. Tin Cup is my favorite golf movie. And my thought was if you were to recast or remake Tin Cup in 2025 with real people, who would you have out there? And does it still need to be like the Texas thing? Because that would kind of hamstring us in terms of casting. But you need somebody with a golf swing that's convincibly pro level and really good pro, and Costner nailed that. But also kind of that down on his luck. Like, he can't be incredibly handsome. Not saying Kevin Costner isn't, but.
Well, my first thought when you talk about, casting on a more modern version is instead of Renee Russo, I'd go with Minka Kelly.
Okay.
I think she's at that age.
To play Dr. Molly Griswold?
Yes. Boy, playing Costner's character, that's
It's a tough one because they got to, again, be convinced, a good golfer, good enough. I guess you can do a swing double like our friends in Stick use on Apple TV. But I don't know. It means more to me if they're using. And plus, Tin Cup kind of had a unique swing. It wasn't just like a cookie cutter perfect swing. It had a unique flair to it.
Looking at the text line, Buzz says he's like Miles Teller.
That's who I originally thought.
I love the guy's personality, but I've seen his golf swing, and that's just not going to work.
He really plays, but don't you think if he got something like that, he could spend 3 months with a real swing coach and get that?
I don't know. Is he a good enough athlete?
Yeah, I think he is.
Maybe.
What about Glenn Powell?
Again, too handsome. He's too handsome.
Oh, you need somebody less handsome.
I think he's too handsome.
I mean, women would say Costner was.
But he can be played down. You can kind of grease him up a little bit, for lack of a better term. Glenn Powell is just it seems like he's printed in a factory. That's how handsome
I can tell you this: if you did a remake of Caddyshack, I'd like to have Ryan Reynolds play Chevy Chase's character, Ty Webb.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, I think he's the perfect stand-in. Our friend of this program in St. Louis, and John Hamm, did a Fletch remake. And he did pretty good job of that kind of smart ass character, but Ryan Reynolds essentially is the modern day Chevy Chase.
Who could play Cheech?
That's another really good that because that's
tough.
Isn't it fun though? Yes. Cheech was I wouldn't say stunt casting, but it was oh wow, Cheech Martin is going to be playing as the caddy. So you want somebody fun, someone you wouldn't think of.
I don't know if we have enough time, Doug.
Well, it's just fun to kind of kick around.
I know.
Good times.
I want to contribute properly.
Sudeikis as the caddy?
No.
Ooh.
Oh, as...
Sudeikis could play Tin Cup for us. Maybe he's not.
He doesn't seem
ladies'
you need
man.
that darkness, though.
Some darkness.
Costner had a lot of darkness. He had a lot of demons.
I mean...
Bateman?
A lot of people are sending in Shia LaBeouf. He was in The Greatest Game Ever Played.
Sudeikis has some darkness in We're the Millers.
A little bit.
The drug dealer.
A little bit. But I think people are Ted Lasso'd up and to see Ted Lasso down on his luck in Texas. Although he could do the accent.
DJ Patty Cakes in the YouTube chat says Justin Timberlake's a good golfer. He's got the acting chops.
He actually took the
handsome
idea
as
right
the
away from
Dickens, but
yeah,
got a decent swing.
That's not bad.
I would like to see an elderly Joe Pesci be a caddy.
Yeah, he could be involved.
He could play caddy.
Danny DeVito.
Not working for me as well. Michael Pena as Cheech. I love that answer from Ray King. Michael Pena is awesome. That's a great answer.
Eligible is wondering who is Cheech Martin.
That's what I say. Cheech Martin.
You said Martin, but that's okay.
It was Marin. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't know, man. This is hard because these are very important choices. Who could play Don Johnson's character,
That's
David
the biggest
Sims?
So it should be. I want to say if there are no Don Johnson fans out there, that means I'm dead. I love Don Johnson.
Oh, he's brilliant.
So this is like going to be difficult to like replicate. So I want to bring like a real athlete in and make them like the villain, like an actual PGA Tour player. Like, could you get Brooks Koepka to kind of play the Don Johnson role, or do you think he wouldn't lean into it?
I think he could just be that way naturally.
Or P. Reed.
I don't think he could be an actor.
Yeah, I think actually Bryson. I think that would be like a really cool thing for Bryson. You know, and to play the villain. Like, I'm not saying because like he's a villainous character, but I think he's someone who would like be willing to do something like that. Like, I think that would be fun.
Doug.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
I don't have the movie chops that Pale has.
I don't know the modern day movie characters. I think it's because, we don't go to the theater anymore, so I don't even know who.
There's so much on that it used to be there was a couple dozen movie stars that were in almost everything.
Yeah.
And now every time you watch a Netflix or HBO series, there's people you've never seen before, and they're really good, and you didn't realize these people are famous already, and I don't even know who they are.
Could Wahlberg play Don Johnson's character?
Ooh, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Real
He's got
golfer.
a good swing.
Yeah, lefty.
He can be dark.
Yes.
Maybe not dark.
Oh, he can be dark.
Mean.
Yeah, he can play
be cold.
Yeah. Yep.
He could mess with you. He might be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, this is hard.
Think of actors who are good golfers. I'm trying to think of like all like the. What about John Smoltz? Could we have John Smoltz play the villain? Great golfer.
Oh, I'm sure there's some out there.
Someone said 636 Scotty Scheffler to play Don Johnson. That movie isn't making it past 2 weeks in production before they're like, I don't think this is our guy for the villain. He's still like he's likable and
Could
sweet.
Christian Bale play Costner's character?
Oof.
I don't know what kind of golf swing he has.
Probably not.
I need like a list or some pictures of some actors.
This is my fault. I brought it up. No, it's mine. It's mine.
It's a fun game.
And this is kind of my bailiwick. This is kind of a movie boy segment in itself.
I suspect it would be easier. It'd be easier to find a good actor and teach him how to have a decent golf swing than to find a good golfer and teach him how to be a strong actor.
Right, like Chevy Chase in Caddyshack. It's unimportant because he has a bad swing. It's a bad swing.
I don't know if he's old enough, but I saw something the other day. Zac Efron's got a pretty good golf swing.
Yeah, okay. Now we're talking. Now I like that. I like that a lot.
Girls like him.
Yeah.
Too handsome?
No, he can be played down. He can for sure be played down. I didn't think so until that Iron Claw, which is the Von Erich movie.
They used to always say that about me. Too handsome for this.
Yeah, right. Very similar.
But I played down.
What about Tony Romo? I don't know how he acts, but
Tony Romo.
He's got the golf swing.
I wouldn't mind him being in it in a cameo situation, but to start, someone saying Matthew McConaughey is Tin Cup. Now
he's got a decent golf swing.
Then you can lean into the Texas thing again.
I don't think Romo has any place in this idea.
You're a little perturbed by that suggestion.
I am not a Romo fan. I think I've probably talked about this on this show.
Why don't you like him?
Romo is one of those guys that got a sponsor's exemption into a Corn Ferry event and walked off the golf course during like his first or second round.
Because it wasn't going well?
Exactly. So now, is he a good golfer? Yeah, he's a decent golfer, but can he act? No.
You don't know that?
Yeah, yes, I do. You've seen him on football games. I mean, I know he's not acting, but I don't know. He just doesn't strike me as a guy who could fill the shoes of a Kevin Costner, of a Tin Cup, if you will.
Someone said John Hamm has a great athletic swing from 3 on 4. I think that could work.
I think Hamm could be in it in one way or another.
I think he could. I think actually he could play Don Johnson's character
for sure.
He's played villains before. Or foils, at least.
Oh, what's the Bridesmaids? He's pretty good.
Great in that. In the town.
Pretty good jerk in that one.
In the town, he plays kind of the
he's kind of an aggressive
FBI agent.
Yeah.
So I think John Hamm would be kind of fun there. And I like the McConaughey. I think if you went McConaughey as Tin Cup and John Hamm as the Don Johnson role.
And can we keep Minka Kelly?
We can keep Minka Kelly, sure.
Okay. Who's going to play the stripper that owns the driving range?
Oh, yeah.
An older, kind of buxom lady. Could that be like Jessica Simpson, perhaps?
Friend of the show, Lisa Ann.
Sure.
Yeah.
She certainly has
So
a
they're not
background.
going to like that you called her older.
Well, in the movie,
Yeah.
I think she's a little bit older.
40s, yeah. Someone saying Jeremy Allen White, he, of course, of The Bear, and soon to be Bruce Springsteen. Interesting. Again, I think probably a little young, but you could just go younger. Like,
Isn't he Lip from Shameless?
He is also Lip from Shameless. Yes,
Great
indeed.
show.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
Great show.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, I see on here.
Now that's super interesting as well.
Could he swing it? Could he
He
swing
could
a
learn.
club?
He's an athletic guy. He could learn.
He doesn't drink.
Yeah. But like Chevy Chase in Caddyshack has a bad swing, and it's unimportant.
Yes, he does.
It's unimportant. Like the only good swing in Caddyshack is Denny Noonan.
Yes.
The worst, of course, being like Rodney Dangerfield probably would whiff every time if you put an actual ball in front of him with that swing. He's like taking one hand off of it. He's all over the place. And Judge Smales, too. Not
Part
much
of the beauty of Val Chervik.
Absolutely. Absolutely. More on this, more on anything. We're kind of clearing the deck for the entire 10 o'clock hour on a Friday. We'll have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming up at the tail end of the presentation. Probably, in about 25, 30 minutes, we'll be doing the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Then BK and Ferrari will be up at the top of the hour. You are listening to The Morning After here on 101 ESPN, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Michael, you were telling me it's 45 years ago to the, yep, it absolutely is. July 25th, 1980. This little picture came out, written by the great Doug Kenny, Caddyshack. Doug Kenny is a fascinating read. If you are into biographies, I could not recommend. The book's called The Making of Caddyshack, but it's really a biography about Doug Kenny, the writer of the movie. He also wrote Animal House and started National Lampoon magazine, all those things. Fascinating read. It's a fascinating read. I highly recommend it, Doug.
That's quite a career. That's 2 mega hits right there.
Yeah, and then he died just a few months after Caddyshack came out.
Really? Mm-hmm. Was he an old guy or no?
In Hawaii. No, he's, I think, 30 when he died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh,
What
yeah.
happened?
I mean, he, like, if you love the original era of SNL and all, like, the Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Doug Kenny was kind of the creator of all of that. Before Lorne Michaels snagged him up for SNL, they were on National Lampoons. And then, yeah, he did Animal House and Caddyshack. Could not recommend it more.
Absolute
Doug Kenny,
genius.
He's in Animal House as Stork. You can see him. He's in.
Oh, that's who. Okay,
that's
I know exactly
Doug
what
Kenny.
you're talking about.
That's Doug Kenny.
Stork. Which one is he?
Glasses.
Oh, blondish hair.
You're a moron.
Oh,
Talks
yeah,
like that.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's him, huh?
That's Doug Kenny.
I'm hesitant to say this out loud, but I'm kind of an open book. I've never seen Caddyshack.
Wow.
What?
Never seen it. I mean, I'm aware of it. I've seen clips, but start to finish, I've never watched Caddyshack.
What is wrong with you?
I don't have anything against it. I just hasn't happened.
Something you need to do. You need to sit down and watch
that while you're going through Hinge this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that.
Not a bad play.
If it's even on anywhere, a movie like that,
Caddyshack,
that wouldn't be on Netflix though, would it?
It is currently on Roku. Is where you can
Sure, you can watch
it.
it a lot of places.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have Amazon or Apple TV, you can just rent it for $2.99. Worst case.
All right.
A classic.
Yeah.
And one I think you'd like a lot, Chairman.
Of course, you'd love it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, nothing against it, and I've heard great things, but this weekend I will watch it.
All right. On board there.
Okay, well, we got that settled.
Yeah. I haven't seen Top Gun either.
What do you do with yourself? These are
apparently
American
just troll
classics.
gas stations
Seminal
in the middle
texts.
of the night.
I mean, how much time you spend in a quick trip?
Would you
Longer than I should have.
You'd rather troll Quick Trip in the middle of the night than watch a movie?
It's not either or. I watch stuff. I'm not against watching stuff.
When you troll a Quick Trip, do you go inside and get yourself a soda or something?
I went inside, got an energy drink, came out. Keith Sweat was playing, and you know how I get when Keith Sweat's playing.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of energy drink?
Right now, I'm on a kick. Something called, I showed you the other day, Redcon.
Okay, you're sticking with it?
Yeah.
Yola.
But I've gone through, I like Bang.
Yes, you do.
Do you find classier women at QT or Mobile on the Run?
I haven't gone to Mobile on the Run yet, but there's one on Hampton that I may go hang
Check it out
tonight. Yeah.
Just kind of set up shop. Some housekeeping. Big happy birthday, not only to Mr. Wellington's brother, but our guy, Iggy Strode. Happy birthday to Iggy.
Kenny.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Iggy.
birthday, Ken.
Happy birthday, Iggs. That's our guy. Happy birthday to Iggs. And then I'm just reading on Twitter now, John Heyman tweeting out, he's a baseball columnist for New York Post and does some work with MLB Network, Bleacher Report, saying Suarez, meaning Eugenio Suarez, Diamondbacks third baseman, has to be easily the Yankees' top third baseman choice, but I'm hearing there's a gap in talks at the moment. Yankees should match up well with Arizona, with New York's pitching and catching prospects, but Mariners, Cubs, Reds, many others in. That's important because if you are of the belief that Nolan Arenado could be making the move to the Bronx, Eugenio Suarez would probably be the guy who would be at the top of the list in front of him for who the Yankees would probably want. And then John Heyman also tweets out just 21 minutes ago, All-Star infielder Brendan Donovan would interest the Yankees if he's available. Many teams would be, Astros too. Unclear how deep Cardinals sale will be. So I think now, if you're looking at a storyline to follow until the deadline, something like a Brendan Donovan would be right up there at the top.
But he also said the Reds would be in on Suarez, so the Reds are buyers? They're no better off than the Cardinals.
I believe, yeah. That one is, Eugenio Suarez originally came from Cincinnati to Arizona, and I have heard some inklings about a possible reunion there. But that would confuse me as well, Doug. Cubs make sense. Yankees obviously make sense.
I'm saying if the Reds are buyers, maybe the Cardinals think they're buyers because they're a half game separated in the standings.
Yeah,
They're about the same team.
Yeah, it would be surprising to me if someone like Eugenio Suarez moved to the Giants.
Yeah, I would be too.
I bet you'll have a lot of suitors for Donovan just because he's had such a good year. He's pretty consistent. You can put him in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be shocked to see him go, Doug.
No, I would think he'd be a valuable guy to have for a lot of teams. But if the Cardinals are looking to build for the next 3 or 4 years, isn't he a guy you'd want a part of that?
Right. You'd kind of want like pretty much a king's ransom for someone like him, relatively. A guy with...
Or at the very least, a really good starting pitcher.
Yeah. And thinking through it, you're probably selling him, maybe not at his peak value. You know, I could see him being really, really good for a long time, but certainly the peak of his value so far in his MLB career, as opposed to selling low. And maybe if you could package up Helsley or send Helsley somewhere else. Maton, I saw, I believe ESPN put out something saying like one player, I have it right here. One player, this is from The Athletic actually, from The Athletic's MLB staff, the one Cardinal they could see, like if they have to see someone in a new uniform after the deadline, they said Phil Maton is a textbook deadline acquisition. He's a 2-month rental with a veteran pedigree and ample postseason experience, all things contending teams covet this time of year. Maton has thrived as the Cardinals setup man, posting a 2.48 ERA, 47 strikeouts over his 38 appearances. He's also pitched in 4 consecutive postseasons dating back to 2021. He'll bring in considerable value in return for St. Louis, even as a rental, as all signs point to the Cardinals opting for a soft sell at the deadline. That's from Katie Wu in The Athletic.
Soft sell. Yeah, would it stun you if Mozeliak in his final year said, I'm not going to give up, we're 2.5 out of the wild card, and we're going to go all in to try to get in the playoffs in my final year. I don't want to sell off a bunch of players as I make my exit.
Would it surprise me? No. It would not surprise me. But if you're him, you also got to think like I could make a move or two that could set up the team for future greatness, and then down the road be like, okay, nice move by Mozeliak retroactively, because you know it won't come in during the, as it's happening, it won't come in, but retroactively it could.
Is the only way to get Weatherholt to come up is to deal Donovan? Is there anywhere else you can put him?
You can put him at second, Donovan in the outfield.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I don't think that Weatherholt coming up to the majors this year is contingent on moving Donovan, or really anybody. I could see him, even if they do next to nothing, still bring him up. I think it would be the right move.
Or if you trade Arenado, he could probably play third also.
You probably move to JC there, but then that would open up more opportunities for guys like Gorman and then, by extension, possibly Weatherholt. But just, moving someone in the infield out of either the team, like moving them, would create more lanes for guys like Sajaci and Weatherholt.
I suppose Weatherholt and probably Liam Doyle, they might be the only untouchables that the Cardinals have.
I don't think you'd want to move on from Mason Wynn at this moment. You definitely I don't think you'd want to sell low on Jordan Walker at the moment.
No, you wouldn't want to sell low on anybody, but I'm saying that the two guys they probably absolutely would not listen are probably those two.
Weatherholt and Doyle?
Probably.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think maybe Quinn Matthews is someone who you wouldn't want to give up, or if you were to give him up, you'd want. But they wouldn't be in a position to be trading prospects.
If you let a left-hander that throws 99 go, that is just idiocy at the highest level.
Right.
I mean, you just can't find that. It's not there. It's so rare.
Yeah.
And when the kid's an absolute animal, too.
Right. And when 99 lefty is good, it's great. So you certainly want to hang on to that. I don't think they're in any danger of trading away top prospects. They're more likely to get some top prospects than lose them.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Unless the Reds are buying, and who knows?
When other teams call them asking about people, I would think those might be the only two that they have that would be completely off the board.
You would hope.
Yeah.
But
I don't think any of the other youngish players have earned that status yet. I wouldn't give up on Walker yet either. But I don't think anyone else has earned the status where I look like such a can't miss that there's no way you're going to deal me.
You love Walker.
I don't love him. I'm just saying I think it's way too early to give up on.
Couldn't agree more with Doug. Total lockstep.
And he's looked pretty good with the bat the last week or so. A whole lot better than he had earlier in the season.
Because if he can work out, then he is everything you need. Right-handed hitting in the outfield with power. If he can work out. But he's 22 or 3.
23, and if you're going to build for the future, that's who you would build it around.
Aaron Judge at 22 or 23 was in college. They're struggling. Like he's like this big body guys like that, righties. Sometimes it takes a little bit. And listen, maybe it's a lost cause and you're doing this for no reason, but you got to explore the option. You drafted him for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, respectfully, I just don't see it.
So you'd move on from him?
I just feel like the way his body moves is kind of clunky. Don't get me wrong. I wish he was awesome. I wish he could, be what he's supposed to be. But the eye test hasn't.
I personally wouldn't be as bullish on him if we didn't see what we saw in that 2023 spring training where he tore the cover. It looked like the best player in baseball.
Of course.
And had moments in AAA
exciting.
where he looked unbelievable. Now, certainly some things changed, and could be from hitting coach perspective or development perspective that things aren't working out. But I think you have to let that, like if you're talking about runway, I don't know if anyone has a longer runway than Jordan Walker, in my estimation.
I think he might ultimately be their first baseman when the Contreras contract runs out.
Mm-hmm.
I think
he's shown improvements in the outfield.
Nice big target to have at first base, and he came up as a third baseman, so he's got some hands. So he might be a better first baseman than outfielder.
I'd feel better with him at first base than outfield for sure.
I would say the only problem there is you have a lot of guys who play first base, kind of like. Now we have you got Contreras. If he's playing,
when his contract runs out.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know who they'd have behind him at that point.
They're open to trading Wynn, and their three untouchables are Weatherholt, Doyle, and Renel Rodriguez. They are super bullish on them. That's from the 3-1-4. Trade Arenado and move Donovan to third. That's from the battery-operated boyfriend. I don't think that would be what they do. I think guys like Gorman might move to third, so JC kind of moving in
When
there.
the battery-operated boyfriend speaks, you got to listen.
He even, battery-operated boyfriend even texted in earlier in the program to confirm that was his name, and I confirmed it for him. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Okay. By the time the Cardinals can put a championship roster together, Donovan would be 32 to 33. I'm 100% open to moving him and replacing him with Weatherholt in the lineup. Hold on to Walker, don't sell low. It's from the Table Rock Lake Monster. I think that's a relatively that's a very interesting text because that's like if you're looking at the timeline of it all, like when do you think the Cardinals can actually be in a position to contend, and how old are these guys, and where's Brendan Donovan at in terms of his contract at that point?
They're not going to be willing to wait around for 3 or 4 years to contend.
No. They're going to assumingly try it. But I mean,
maybe one down year of young players and then hopefully be ready to go in 27, I would think.
27, I think that's right. Because I think 26 is going to look pretty similar to this year. And I don't know what's going to change over the year and a half.
Trade Newt, move Donnie to left field, and JJ to second base. That's from Doug's Bunyan.
I would be so on board with that.
I did have a bunion there. Have you ever had a bunion?
Isn't that just where your
fun time
toe angles?
Yeah, it's just where your toe moves in and it stretches a ligament.
Not yet. I hope I don't have one.
Don't get too tight shoes.
Now, you were complaining about your hip flexors yesterday. We were playing golf.
Thank you for prefacing.
Well, yeah, I wanted to make sure I said that second.
Yeah, I need to get some work done.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we need to do team yoga. We'll do
puppy yoga this weekend.
How about
puppy
hot yoga?
Yeah, they're doing labradoodles.
So the dogs stretch?
I think the people are doing the yoga, and then there's just kind of a wave of puppies just crawling around, crawling on you, giving you little kisses. I'm thinking about going.
Sounds like a nightmare.
It sounds like where you're going to meet a girl.
I mean,
that's a way better place to meet a woman than Quick Trip in the wee hours.
I think the felons
Quick Trip after is where it's at.
I thought that's where it was at. Would you go to puppy yoga? Jackson's out.
Hard out.
I did go to Bikram yoga one time years ago.
So that's hot yoga, and that's where they lock the door, right?
Yes, and let me tell you why I know that for a fact, because I went into this class. It was an hour-long class, and with about 20 minutes to go, I was about to pass out. I was seeing stars, and I tried to leave, and the instructor told me, you need to lay down, put your hands on your chest, and just breathe.
That would give me a panic attack.
That's kidnapping.
That would be.
He can't tell you that you can't leave.
I assume you're signing up, knowing what you're signing up for going into it.
Like I said, I was chasing a girl. And this is back when I was still drinking and was certainly dehydrated.
Yeah.
But the guy would not let me leave.
That's kidnapping.
I would not be okay with that at all. I mean, I assume like if emergency situation popped up that they would obviously open the door.
It was tough.
But you were close. You're saying you were close.
I got to tell you, that Bikram yoga is no joke.
How hot is it in there? Like
it was like 100.
Oh, Doug. 100 degrees. Stretching, doing yoga.
Were you wearing boy shorts and a half shirt?
No, I was just wearing, basketball shorts and a T-shirt. But literally, after 35 minutes, was seeing stars.
Were you?
And had to sit down and tried to leave, and the instructor just would not allow it.
That's kidnapping.
Well, I mean, there's nothing I could do. I wasn't really in a mental state to argue.
You made it through?
Well, I laid down for the next 20 minutes and just kind of
child's pose,
almost meditated.
What if you walked out anyway, despite his objections? What would he have done?
I should have, but I don't know. I just listened to what he had to say because I didn't want to disrupt the entire
It's like some
class.
Final Destination stuff where the door of the sauna breaks off and you're stuck in there. And no good.
It was bad. I've never been back since.
Yeah, that one. I just sounds.
How long would you last if the door of the sauna got stuck and you couldn't get out?
Not long. Probably not long. No
Of a sauna or a Bikram yoga class?
Oh, I don't know. I've never been.
Apparently, you're not supposed to go past 30 minutes in a steam or a sauna.
Yeah, that's
like that's it. Then it's counterproductive.
Well, and then you get dehydrated really quickly. I mean, like already you can't go very long without water, without being in extreme heat. You throw that in there, I don't think you'd last very long.
Couple hours?
Yeah, probably. It'd be about one of the worst ways you could go out.
I'm by no means licensed, but I'll definitely come in and massage you boys, but only when Tim is back. That's from Philip Seymour Doffman.
It's kind of sweet. That gong is kind of sweet. Mm-hmm. It's almost loving in a way.
Not as good as this one.
That is like that's demonstrative. That's announcing.
A little bass.
Yeah. That other one is like about to sing some carols. Puppy yoga is where those wide-eyed girls. I don't know if I can read this. Why risk it? I'm not going to read it.
I think it's good.
No thanks. No, I won't be going to any puppy yoga or hot yoga or anything of the sort. But I can tell you, if your home feels like a hot yoga studio and you feel like you can't get out, let Martin tell you about Design Air Heating and Cooling.
Martin Kilcoyne talking about Design Air, which is the longest running TMA sponsor. And that is a distinction. That means that they've been loyal to this show and you've been loyal to them. That's how it works. DesignAirService.com is the website. Pretty easy to remember that. Always tell folks if your thermostat isn't triggering properly, you know what that means. You set it to 68 or 70 in the house on the thermostat, but then it's coming in at 72, 73. It's just not cooling off the way you want it to. Could just be a little tune-up that you need. Go to designerservice.com, the website where you can set up the appointment and get that award-winning service that we've been talking about for years on this show. I've known about Design Air going way back. Tim got me hooked up with them. I'm over 10 years ago, I would say. And this company has been around for more than a century. So it's a St. Louis-based company. St. Louis employees. It's been voted great places to work. There's a bunch of lists out there like that. So the employees are happy. The customers are happy. Find out why by setting up your appointment at designairservice.com.
It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. All right, we are going to head into our final segment of the week, which will feature the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day with Paul Harvey's Milk Mustache with 4 wins leading the charge for the month of July. Send their emails in always at themorningafter@InsideSTL.com. I'll say it again, Doug. themorningafter@InsideSTL.com to compete for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Continue to text in on the Air Comfort Service text lines 314-399-9646. Call in the Callier and Thompson phone lines 314-974-0101. You are listening to The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN.
You've heard me talking about Auto Loan Pro for quite some time, and the reason is it's one place to go where you can always get that car, no matter what your situation is. Doesn't matter if you've had a hiccup in the past. AutoLoanPro.com is the website that'll help navigate you to that next vehicle. Working hard to get you a vehicle for little to no money down. They'll also try real hard to get you the best rate possible. In fact, they'll get you the best rate possible. And they can do that because they work with over 50 different lenders. They're part of the Lita family of cars. AutoLoanPro.com is the website that features Robert Thomas. He does television commercials for our friends. And on that website, you can also get the free playbook we've talked about, explaining to you how the credit industry works, how you can improve your credit, get a certain car this time, and maybe a different car the next time around. It helps to understand how all of that works. You only need to know one thing when buying a car. There's one thing to know, and that is go to the pro, AutoLoanPro.com. Get the vehicle, get the playbook, walk away happy. You're learning a little something during this process, which is an added benefit to getting that new vehicle. It's AutoLoanPro.com.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update. It's brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Just closing the loop on this because I talked about it yesterday. New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields was back at practice today, but he did not participate in team or individual drills a day after being carted off with a dislocated toe. It seems that he has avoided serious injuries. The Jets said Thursday that Fields would not miss significant time and is considered day-to-day. He is expected to be ready for Week 1 against the Steelers. Sources tell ESPN yesterday. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin Heating and Air Conditioning dealer. Oh, the weekend, Michael.
What's this song make you think of?
What song?
I feel like there's only one answer.
It makes me think of Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze on Saturday Night Live.
Chippendale skit.
Oh,
Thank
right.
you.
Right.
Thank you, Kurt.
Loverman, right? That's the name of the band.
I don't even know.
Lover Boy?
Lover Boy.
Lover Boy. Movie Boy. Episode 2 tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Oh, my.
Lover Boy. Yeah, Lover Boy. One word, too. Surprising.
What time's Movie Boy drop?
10 a.m.
10 o'clock.
A little morning listening for you.
Yeah.
Welcome back. The morning after. 101 ESPN, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Michael Wellington was kind enough to sit in Martin Kilcoyne's chair for Tuesday through Friday this week. So we thank Michael for coming in as he brings the heat, as he always does. Thank you, Mike.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. And I have to say thank you to all the texters. Being on this side of the text screen and seeing all the activity and the creativity, it's awesome. I got to say that.
You didn't have a monitor in front of you in the HD2 days, did you?
No, and I never really delved too deeply into it, but it's absolutely hilarious, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a look at humanity from another angle.
It's a unique presentation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say that.
And I think that yields unique, but also very creative and talented listeners. And so we appreciate every single person out there listening to us this morning. If you missed any of the show, you can catch it on the Schaefer Door Company podcast. And Monday we'll be back. Tim and Martin will be back. So we will be back to full strength on Monday. But that's not to say that we're less than full strength now. I think we're quite strong to quite strong. And that includes the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. I realized I said that before I opened up the email inbox, so you're just going to have to give me, Doug, 6 seconds.
Okay, you've got plenty of time
5,
here.
4, 3, 2.
Just get it opened up and start reading them.
What in the holiest of hells is going on here?
No.
Tim, please come back. This show is like a ship without a rudder. You dog-hating, Caddyshack never-seeing, don't deserve an erotic, witchy email. I don't hate dogs, but Chairman hasn't seen Caddyshack, so half-truths. That's why this email is about Hialeah, Miami, 1983. Money was tough, so I started...
Cuss words?
I don't...
You're not
my first gig was the big sportscaster tournament. No, I'm not reading this.
Kevin Miller. That was Kevin Miller.
Juice, squeeze, air on the side of caution.
Okay.
Hello. They can start engraving that Marconi Award immediately. That segment where you guys recast Tin Cup is the most thought-provoking radio I've ever heard. Someone take away the rest of Tim Vacation's days. That comes from Leroy.
Leroy, he's new.
Happy Friday, lads. I write in today as a concerned husband and distraught wrestling fan. My wife and I are en route to a couple's golf trip, making random conversation. I'm a Real American comes on the Spotify shuffle. As a tear almost falls from my eye thinking about our beloved Hulkster, my wife pipes up with joy as she announces that she had Hulk Hogan in her death pool. I thought she got out of that pool years ago, and now to tell me she got 40 points when the American hero jumped to the top rope to the pearly gates, I'm beside myself. How am I supposed to ride in a cart with this communist all weekend? Cheers, my cousin Vinny.
My cousin Vinny.
A haiku to capture the last 2 days of magical programming. Grade school barf sawdust. Hot yoga, kidnapping's bad. Kurt's Uncrustables. That comes from Shooter McGavin, the vice president of mayonnaise.
Shooter McGavin, vice president mayonnaise.
Nope. Oh, you didn't know?
Oh.
Yo ass better call somebody. Ever heard of The Rock? Come on, boys, be better. Dan in SoCo.
Dan in SoCo.
And that's what we got for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today.
I'll give it to Kevin Miller, the one you couldn't finish. I thought that might have been the best one.
It probably was, and it might have been okay to read. Probably was, but juice squeeze.
That's who I'm voting for, Kevin Miller.
Well,
Michael?
I mean, Happy Gilmore opens today. I'll just have to go with Shooter McGavin.
Chairman?
I agree with Leroy. The Tin Cup segment, that's going in the best of probably, so I'm going Leroy.
Leroy, you have won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. You get yourself on the board, but I believe that kind of locks up the month for Paul Harvey's Milk Mustache. Doug, crowdsourcing here. How many more shows in the month of July do we have?
Well, I can count. Did you say July?
I'm going to go 4.
4? We got 4? Okay, so that's not true. So Leroy is still in contention because Paul Harvey's Milk Mustache has 4 wins for the month of July on the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day status. So still a possibility to make a run, but, up against him. But someone like Dalton has 2 wins, as does Shooter McGavin. So you got a vote today from Mr. Wellington. Welly, thank you again for coming in and filling in for us. Doing great work always. And best of luck the rest of the way in terms of caddying. Yeah. What's the next stop for you?
Thank you. The pleasure was mine, gentlemen. My next stop on the Champions Tour is Seattle.
Nice.
a couple of weeks, but may have a Corn Ferry gig next week in Utah. We'll just see how things shake out, though.
Super cool.
Now, you say you drive all the time. You're not driving to those two places.
I definitely won't drive to Seattle. For
Boy,
sure.
yeah, what do you think
or Utah, for that matter.
30 hours?
I don't think you can even get there from here.
Won't do that. Always have flown up there, and then we go to Calgary after that, so that'll be some flights. And then we get back to Michigan, and then we're at Norwood.
Nice, yeah.
The week of Labor Day.
For the Stiefel Charity Classic.
Hope to see you all there. I hope that my friends at Stiefel will consider having Scott Perrell on the player list for that event. There's nothing I would like more than to caddy in my hometown event.
I saw Wellington yesterday on those very grounds. He was taking a lot of notes. He was surveying the grounds.
I was trying to look at the greens a little bit to try to. I do know them well. I mean, I played there since high school, so always good to get back and get a look at them, though. But Norwood's a fine venue, and Stiefel will certainly do a great job. Really cool that they got OAR to come out and play on Friday night.
What's the course in Seattle? What's the?
It is called Snoqualmie. The club at Snoqualmie Ridge.
Okay, gotcha.
Wonderful track.
Where they played the U.S. Open in Seattle once, right? Not Chambers Bay. Sahalee. Yeah, because Chambers Bay isn't technically in Seattle, right? But it's in Washington.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Sahalee. That's the one I was thinking of. All right. Thank you, Michael. Wellington bringing the heat as always. Thank you to Chairman Kurt, doing great work as he always does. Doug Vaughn, the North Star for all of us. It's the best in the business, if you ask me. We'll be back with Tim and Martin on Monday. I'm Action Jackson. Thank you for listening to The Morning After on 101 ESPN, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.